Hey, what's going on? I didn't turn my mic on because you're doing too much other stuff. We're going to try something new today. We have been starting off with comics and everything else. So we're going to continue to do that. But this was by the way, say hi. Hi. We're going to try something new today where we are going to try to talk about a trailer. And we're going to try talking about it a different way than we're normally used to trying it. We'll say hi to everybody. And the only reason we're doing this up front is we have to edit something. We're going to edit it. So if you don't see that later on, because for all of our UK friends, if you don't see what we did here in the first little bit, sorry, it didn't work. If you do see it, then yay us, it actually worked. Let's say hi to chat. GTK Comics, hi, thumbs up. Dom Source. Oh, wow, you changed it again? So his thing must have been up. Dom Source of all rumors.
His 14 days. His 14 days is up.
Sam's biggest fans, 14 days must be up. So thank you, Ed. Marco's gone this week, and I have loads of rumors to unleash. Actually, Dom's in the rumor mill right now trying to cook up some more. So maybe we'll see him next week with some wild stuff. Saying hi for the Tommy Longbox pulling out the saying hi for the algorithm. Well, you didn't say it first, so he got it to you. Mr. Appleman, hi everyone. Yep. Dwayne Scott. Dark Dom is in the chat. Yes, he is. Kind of. Wookiee Fanatic, happy Sunday, Darksiders. We are live. Is it 180p? Yeah, see.
Camera.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah. Okay. No Dom or Wayseeker. Who Mark will go off on tonight? Yeah, I don't know. Microsoft Steve. Hey, give Ruben a break there, Meyer. I did see. Hey, I saw what's going on for Deadly Venom. I saw that Minecraft movie, by the way, too. I saw it at the right time.
Dude, I can't go see. I'm sorry, I cannot go see kids movies or movies targeted towards teens on movie release day. Like on Friday.
Well, do you know what they're doing now? Like
fuck that.
We got lucky because Catholic schools, there's a day of service that the teachers have to do, and it's on that Friday leading up to Good Friday. It's some thing they do. So that was the day Minecraft came out. But then afterwards, some people kept sending me stuff like, "Be careful taking your kids if this is a theater." Like teenagers and college kids right now are going to the theater, and when the Chicken Rider comes out, they're just throwing popcorn buckets and taking cameras and screaming. Luckily, we had some kids behind us that were that age that were going to try to do it. We didn't know what they were going to try to do, and I just turned around and gave them you should probably think about what you're going to do before you do it. And they actually left the thing.
You gave them the life choice and son.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of kids there. I mean, we had it was like four of us dads. We were outnumbered, dude. It was wild. We were outnumbered. We must have had 15.
That's what I mean. It would turn into the end of Step Brothers, where they're two guys fighting all the kids off.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He turned the one dad at the other was like, "Hey, you gotta say something." I was like, "I don't gotta say anything." I just stood up, looked over at the kids, and that was it. Well, I mean, they were young people. I mean, hey, listen, young people make decisions too. I just remember being young and going into the remasters, and we just would watch. There'd be nobody there, and we just watch the movies. I don't understand why everybody's got to try to make it more.
You kind of the worst thing you do is sneak into the movie theater, but then you kept a low profile because you didn't want to get caught because you snuck into the movie. Not make a total jackass of yourself.
Yeah. Or they actually used to check you for we'd sneak in tons of candy and other crap, right? You go.
It was always buy a ticket to the not rated R movie and sneak into the rated R movie.
Yeah, I mean it's wild. I don't know why they want to do that, but I mean, people are getting arrested. The choices you make sometimes. I don't know. Anyways, truly idiocracy. But here, all right. So I think we've burned enough time on that. So we're going to talk about it. There's a trailer that came out. Can you add stuff onto stage or no? Did you do controls?
I can. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back there and put full screen then, and I'm going to tell you when. So we're going to talk about the trailer that came out. Underworld. Actually, kind of stinks. Dom's not here. Let's go. You can add it to the screen there, please, and I'll press play. Just let me know when.
Good.
Okay. So we're going to kind of try to show some of it and talk a little bit about it. I really do think that it kind of stinks that – hold on. Okay, I got questions right off the bat. Yeah. Okay.
Pause it.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
You're rewinding.
Right there. Yeah. I think we'll be all right with this. All right, this part right here where we got the the droid section, right? Is this where we see the Admiral later, or no? Or do you think it's?
I think it's supposed to be like maybe like Ventress's
storyline. For those people that don't know, there's two storylines that are coming out. One of them is of Ventress, and I think this might have JJ. I think this might have a tie into something you're going to mention later. And the other one is a Cad Bane story. Do we know the timelines? They haven't officially given us the timelines on both of this, correct?
No, not officially, but
no.
I mean, we can go through it as we go through it. People will probably see, but I think they make it kind of obvious that I think it's a Cad Bane. They're doing like they did the other formulas, pretty much, where you have one story that's kind of like a prequel, and then one story that's like a continuation of that person's tale, kind of.
Well, you think it's that? So you don't think it's going to give us three different timelines? Like in it's supposed to be 3 episodes apiece, right? So here she is. You can tell because of her boots and everything else. And then, of course, we get it. Which is this? This is a PE, right? Which one is this again? This is the one that was
specifically supposed to be.
Well, it was isn't this? It's voiced by the same guy that plays the Admiral that is on the clone side and then goes over to the Empire. Because when he says, "Huh?"
Yularen?
Yularen. Yeah.
Yes.
When I heard it the first time, I was like, "That's Yularen's voice." Now I don't know if this is supposed to be Yularen or not, but I mean, it would make sense. And I think it's kind of where it gives you the timeline of where she actually would be too. So where you see this scene, do you think this is pre Voss or like pre
I think it's
or post?
I think it's like I think it's got to be post Voss. It's after the Clone Wars for sure.
But when they hook up, you think so?
Well, yeah, when they hook up, it's the Clone Wars. So.
Yeah, Clone Wars. Yeah. Well, there's a reason why I think it might not be, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And then you get Cad Bane going back to. Do you think it's Cad Bane's planet? I don't know.
I think it's his origin. I don't even know if he's going back. I think they're kind of showing it in reverse. But I almost
you think he's showing the
story?
You think this is the OG story of how he became Cad Bane?
I think so.
Oh, nice. He looks so much better animated than he does in real life.
Yes, he does.
You mean when he doesn't have CPAP tubes sticking out?
Yeah. Yeah, because that's him as a kid, right? So at least there's going to be, JJ's favorite. We're going to get a little bit of flashback, if nothing else.
I think the whole thing was going to be a flashback, maybe.
It's kind of wild, though, because like when you see him coming in some of the earlier scenes, like we saw over here, let me see if I can pull it back right here. He kind of got that gunslinger type step off. But if you actually look at the city he came from, I would figure it would have been more, where'd I go? I figured it would have been more Wild West, which it doesn't seem to be. It's city life for him, right?
It seems that way, yeah.
It seems like he's more of like from the city. Then who the heck is this kid?
No idea.
No idea yet.
But see,
that's why I think it's. Oh yeah, we do. But I say
it's got to be all the post Clone Wars. It's got to be post Clone Wars.
It doesn't have to because look at the. Okay, here's the two problems.
Her hilt.
Look at the hilt. So
that's where. Well, go ahead. I'll let you go.
Okay.
And I'll go.
Yeah. So the story on how it worked post, even when she was with Voss in Clone Wars, she did get the yellow lightsaber at that point, right? Like towards the end, huh?
Nope. I don't think so. Did she?
I thought it was like I thought it was towards. It was after the first attempt on Dooku where she got the yellow lightsaber, but it's supposed to be not that hilt,
right?
Which is because in Dark Disciples she gets the yellow lightsaber. She gets it in Dark Disciples.
Does she?
Yeah. So I mean, Dark Disciples is Clone Wars, just towards
the only reason I thought it was post Clone Wars is because she don't think she has hair in Clone Wars.
Yeah,
right?
the hair and everything else. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but she has it in Dark Disciples. Like if you
see, that's where it's more post. If it was Clone Wars or Clone Wars, I thought it was post Clone Wars because she doesn't have hair.
Well, we also don't have the audio, but at this point, somewhere in the trailer, and I'm pretty sure it's around this point, they call them both bounty hunters.
Yeah.
They say like a tale of two bounty hunters or something like that. She's doing bounty hunter work post Clone Wars.
Yeah, but Dark Disciples, she has the haircut and she does bounty hunters because remember, Dark Disciples, she's still trying to kill Dooku, so he's still alive.
Dooku.
Because remember, Dooku kicks Voss.
That's true, yeah.
So
she's doing like bounty hunter work to get by. I don't know, maybe it is.
Yeah. I'm just thinking because is that an Inquisitor?
I think it's supposed to be an Inquisitor, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they show his lightsaber later on, and
yeah,
circular.
But that doesn't mean, See, it's not circular right there though. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
I mean, who else would it be though? in the Clone Wars.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
If it's the Clone Wars, it can't be anybody because
is this a Pike, right? Isn't this a Pike? And look at the red glow. So do you think
it can't be Plagueis either then, though?
No, but it could be. What it could be is there's a part where she fights. It could not be a Sith, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it could be when she's fighting the Pikes. Because I mean, I don't know about that face, but it looks Pike-esque, maybe. I don't know. Man, this looks so good.
I got a really good picture of that, Marco.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna send it to you. You can bring it to the screen. I got a really good picture of him because I lit up the screen. I wanted to see the inside helmet with like.
Okay.
There you go. 2 bounty hunters is where it says.
Yeah, 2 bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they saved the wife there too, or the mom of the kid. I want to go back to the scene. I might slow that down a little bit. This is very weird. Like, who's coming? I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so Rebels was post, right?
It also looks like she's defending, because that looks like the same kid or whatever.
It does.
Really, it looks like she's defending like a force using kid or something. So
it
almost makes me wonder if that's why it's Inquisitor and that's why.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Well, here it's got to be post because look at what we answer our own question. Ready? What are those?
It's troopers.
Yeah,
stormtroopers.
Yeah, those are stormtroopers. Yeah,
and Imperial probe right there.
Yeah.
But that was a clone. Hold on, in the mom thing, I'm gonna slow it down again. Wow, look at us now. We're really just not. We're just trying to get demonetized at this point.
Hey, you got the controls. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I know. All right, watch the gun that's being pulled out. Yep, they're stormtroopers.
Oh, wow.
That is stormtroopers.
Yeah, like stormtrooper.
Yep, very stormtrooper-esque. Early.
But you don't know. It could also take place. Plus, I think
a
lot of this stuff that we know about her, and like I think even honestly, I think the Dark Disciple stuff for her, and the Star Wars Insider story stuff for her, and all that is going to be probably changed by Filoni.
Yeah, that's where I was about to go with this.
We know it's going to happen.
We like the Dark Disciple stuff, but Filoni's getting a hold of it, so he could just change the timeline altogether and add in an Inquisitor.
It's
and
just like we saw with Ahsoka's story. So
who did Disciples? Was it? Oh yeah, see, there you go.
Holden, I think, wasn't it?
There you go. You do get a little bit of a circular. Oh yeah, you know how you see. That's not a circular. It's a hilt like a knight. Do you see that? It's not like the Inquisitors where they had a circle. This is actually like a hilt. You see it from the other part, and that's where he wears the helmet. Dave Filoni did this to be. It's like almost. It's an Asian knight that they have in here, right? Where it has that like almost Mongolian style head armor or Imperial Japanese style head armor, and then it has like the Hosan like knight guard for the. See, we thought it was a circle, but I really think that's a guard. You saw it from the front on. It is. It's a guard.
Well,
see, that's sideways there, but it's actually a front guard. Oh no, no, you're right. There it is.
I'd say it's a circular.
Yeah,
I think they can make it a half circle or a whole circle.
Yeah, they can make a half circle and then it opens up and the other blade comes out.
Yeah, so, now it looks like it's circle. It looked like a holster there, but yeah, now it looks like it's circular. All right, cool. Awesome slowdowns.
Yeah, it is.
God, that's pretty. Oof. Oh, this is fun. Really, really excited though. I mean, really excited.
They back up now.
No. Now that we're seeing all this stuff, absolutely not.
All this.
Oh, who's blowing stuff up there? What the heck? Oh man.
I think that's still her story. I think.
Is that still hers? Because I think that was.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that? Wait, hold on. Those are
Republic gunship. Yeah, I know.
Republic gunships. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I think it's going to take place over a longer period of time. But I mean, we still haven't seen any of the Dark Disciple stuff on screen yet. So I don't know if we're actually going to get any of that, and I don't know how much of that Filoni's going to change. So,
but see, this is blown up here, so that could Cad Bane was around during Clone Wars, so that could have been Republic gunships coming in for something else.
I almost wonder if we'll start at her funeral.
Oh, maybe.
You think? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, Cad Bane's just gonna murk people. Well, yeah, Clone Wars has got to be over because these are turned off B1 battle droids, I guess. What is this stuff? Who is this?
Speeder bikes.
So she's out in the desert at one point going against.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
that's kind of what she did
with the pikes. Or whatever it was. The Blood Gang was the Blood Gang.
Well, she fought like Hondo Anako's gang at one point.
Yeah, she did. Yep. Yeah, that's definitely. Wait, what? Wait, hold on now. Okay, so she is there. So that is during the Republic, because those are bouncing off of that, and that's definitely a Republic gunship that's going down. So maybe we're gonna get it. Like, remember when they did Ahsoka and she's getting eaten by a tiger?
Yeah. She starts off a saber-tooth tiger, ends up in a
saber-tooth tiger.
Newer story.
Yeah.
I swore I saw her hold a red lightsaber at one point.
I think that's kind of like all these things kind of have the same formula. Like I said, you got kind of one person's story that takes place almost completely in the past, and then one person's story, like their origin story, and then you have one person's story that they might give you a little bit of the past, but it's actually like a forward future story. So you had like Ahsoka's, you had Barriss Offee's, and now you've got, I think Ventress is going to be in this one the one going forward, and the one going to the past is going to be Cad Bane.
I just wonder. I guess my biggest wonder here is what are the, and I know you're going to say whatever because you hate normie fans, but what are the normie fans going to like about this? Like, I think they're going to be stoked for Cad Bane, right? Like, I think the internet, the people that watch, as we're on the internet doing this, but like not this, we're a very niche, like very hardcore Star Wars like fan show. We're not we're just not, we don't do the lame wow reaction.
I think this will get a much more positive reception than Tales of the Sith or Tales of the Empire did. Yeah. Mainly because I think they picked two. I mean, I kind of like Barriss Offee's character, but I didn't care at all about Morgan Elsbeth's character.
Yeah, fair.
And I don't think very few people did. And I think a lot of the normie fans, if you want to call them that, may not even know who Barriss Offee was. Because like you're literally like an important character in Clone Wars for like half a season, like so.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. But here they picked characters that have quite a lengthy, and have been, at least Cad Bane's been in live action, and Ventress has been around for over 20 years now.
But that's what I think is because Cad Bane is around the time where YouTube comment or Instagram and TikTok comment picked up, and people could use that. Like I mean, I like the character, don't get me wrong, especially the animated version of him. But I think he's more recognizable around the, like, there's somebody we can talk about situation here than not. And like, I mean, I hate that Dom's not here, because I'll tell you this, the possibilities of Boba Fett showing up, either a young Boba Fett.
Oh my God.
I mean,
possible.
Like, it's there's a 90%, like, both of those two characters have got very long histories with Boba Fett.
Well, also, they out and out tell you too that they're both bounty hunter stories. They tell you that in the trailer. So.
Yeah. Dude, hopefully that's not Boba. Hopefully that's not Boba Fett they have in the background using the lightsaber. That would be too bad. That would be horrible if he does that.
It's actually Judo Cast.
Pretend Dom's here.
Yeah,
we can pretend Dom's here. All right. At the end of the day, Boba Fett's there. Hold on. Make everything better, so Boba Fett got to be there.
You know what I'm saying? Because like we all know. No, what he says is, we all know that's a fact. Boba Fett is definitely 100%. I'm just saying, there. Showing up.
Gonna be there.
He's gonna be there. Yeah, 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody's saying, because like the fact is Boba Fett's gonna show up. Like, okay, well, I think it's really high. But it was cool to see Ventress like that. I think like. We were looking up, and we're going to cover a lot of Ventress Key stuff, not just books, but other things. And while looking at it, and I know the original Ventress, like people for some reason have some misguided love for the Gentry stuff, but like the Clone Wars Ventress is one of the biggest. That's like the best. Like that is the best Ventress. Like
the original animated Wars, the Gimby Clone Wars. Right?
No, not the
Gimby Clone Wars.
Not the Gimby. No, when she looks like a fucking slinky. That's not the good stuff. Which is like, that's not it.
But that's what everything's based on. That's how you got the Dark Horse comics. So that was based on.
I get it. But that's not her best version. Is the Disney Clone Wars version of her, right, Ruben? You'd have to say that, right? That is one character. Actually, it's kind of funny we don't have Dom here because he would just.
I think it's the Dark Disciple version that we probably will get written over in this latest series, but that's
but that's also still the Disney version, right? Like that's still that version of it, and that is the best version. And yeah, I mean, Dave's gonna hopefully he doesn't crap too much on it. I mean, the Ahsoka thing that he did with the saber-tooth tiger too. I mean, it is his character, but he shit all over that book, and that was a very well done.
That's what I'm afraid he's gonna do with Dark. As long as he doesn't like show her like dying and like Quinlan Voss like not even being involved or something, that would be like bridge too far for me. Like I don't mind not like it, but I'm okay with most other things. But if you take away, if you show her Clone Wars death, I guess not a real death because she comes back, but if you show her Clone Wars death and Quinlan Voss is not at all involved, that would be ridiculous.
Well, you know what's funny about that is like everybody's waiting for him to explain the death, right? Because we think that for those people that don't know. In the book, what happens is Quinlan Voss, she dies, but spoiler alert of a 15-year-old book, shout out 15-year-old books, but she dies sacrificing herself pretty much for Voss. And Voss and Qui-Gon Jinn
end up taking,
or Obi-Wan, one of the two. It could have been Obi-Wan. I thought it was Qui-Gon, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Dead at that point, I thought.
Okay, so then it's Obi-Wan. They take her dead body back to Dathomir, and then like it infers that mother, like one of the sisters, maybe starts to.
Yeah, they put her in the waters.
They put her in the water. Yeah, it's kind of like the pool Lazarus for those DC fans. But, so the
Taj Al Ghul's. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul's Lazarus.
Yeah. But like, so supposedly fans for years have always thought, and I bet you a lot of you do too, that like she's been brought back, and then we saw her on Bad Batch, so she's brought back. But you are right. Dave has never said she died. Now, Dark Disciples was actually an episode of Clone Wars that never got finished. It was never put out there. And the writer, who was it again? Was it Johnson?
I think it was Christine Golden, I think.
God, who?
I'm looking it up right now. It's going to kill me. I'm looking it up right now. Just keep going.
Whoever it was it was just like Johnson who redid the Ahsoka parts. And that Ahsoka part was also taking off a portion of animatronics that they did not finish. Like you didn't get to see the end of, and he never got to finish the Clone Wars thing. And she picked it up and did such an exceptional job that like people love that book to this day and were very upset about it. It is Christine Golden.
It's Golden.
Dude,
it is Golden.
Guys, I gotta say this too. If he ruins that book too,
like I said, my hope
you got two women authors who did a great job. I think we just got to get a charity fight between him and what's his name. Does Thrawn and just put him in there and just don't because I just I don't think like Zod is already saying don't touch my dude, but like you're one step because if you get away with this, the only character left that you're gonna touch is Thrawn, and like okay, you want to do baby Sabretooth.
My biggest thing of it is like you don't need to touch it though, right? You don't need to get like literally like you only need to like we know she comes back because we've already seen her in Bad Batch. They didn't explain how she came back, so I imagine that they're going to try to explain it.
Scary.
Yeah. But you don't even need to go back that far to explain it. Like I said, you can literally show her like waking up in the waters or something like that, and then it just continuing from there. And maybe Quinlan thinks she's dead.
But dude, see, this is where I think he's wrong. So I think he's going. If let's just say he doesn't do that. Let's say he goes the other route. There's three routes he can do. He can either completely ignore the death and everything else, which I think is an okay route. I think that's okay. He could do what the hardcore, because I think all of us could consider ourselves hardcore fans, right? He could do what the hardcore fans want. And let me ask you if this is what you want. All of a sudden you see her gasp out and come, like how she got brought back to life. We don't need to see that she was killed. We don't need to see that. We just need to see her come out of the water, right?
Yeah.
The witch there, she come out of the water. Everybody good with that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
You're getting stiffy. That happens. Right? We're good. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of like, that's what we wish. So that shit ain't happening. You know, that shit ain't happening because he ain't going to give us what we want. There's no way he's going to do that because he's from the thing of like, fuck the fans.
He's going to like write in like Mace Windu killed her or something like that.
Yeah. Mace Windu cut her head off. And then that's
my favorite Jedi Plo Koon had a battle with her. And you didn't see it.
So that's the third option. The third option is he shits all over Golden's book and then proceeds to make the character idiotic, just like Saber-Tooth Tiger Ahsoka, and like, you know, oh, we're going to change around the characters and we're going to cut all these great parts out of it, and then this, that, and the other thing, and we're just going to shit all over the lore. I don't even think we can call it canon anymore because he gives very little F's about canon. So, and continuity.
I mean, like I said, it's our fervent hope that like we just see her kind of wake up in the water or whatever. Like if that's where it starts, that's where it starts. I think that's what we hope for. But the problem he'll have with that is, and the reason why he may go back too far, is the fact that like that only explains how she wakes up and whatever it is, but there's no explanation for people that didn't read the book about why she's suddenly become more like a good character, like an anti-hero.
Hold on. You think he's ever explained shit before? He has done a ton of like, does not care. We'll just put shit out there.
I think he's tried to explain stuff before, and not done a very good job of it.
I mean, look, man, I'm not going to kill the Ahsoka last season and the whole Ezra and like crab people. But come on, dude, that was
turtle people. Just come on.
Yeah, but I mean, part of the thing with him is, and I kind of would like it, is like, you don't have to. This is what I'm kind of saying. You don't have to have her die or come back. You avoided it in Bad Batch, right? You didn't mention it, really, which is fine. So don't use, I guess my question to you guys is this. Would you rather him just avoid it altogether? Or would you just take the gamble and hope that he doesn't do something?
I'm like you with your legacy characters. You always say, "Don't touch the legacy characters." Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. I'm with you. I'm like that in this situation. You don't need to touch it. Don't touch it. Yeah, it's the third rail. Like, don't touch that, son.
Yeah, for sure.
And what I think he's going to do is going to be like a third. It's not going to be a throwaway line. Like she's going to be talking to somebody and be like, "Yeah, I woke up in the water and I was fine." Like something so out there that we don't see it. Because we want. He usually is blatant about if he wants to shit on something, he will shit all over it. Yeah. He will explosively diarrhea.
I like what you're saying.
We know he loves the world between worlds, so I assume that somebody will go through the world between worlds and save Ventress at the last second.
And saved her, just pulled her out.
Like, why not?
But Ruben, are you really mad if that's how that happens? Because I don't actually have a problem if he uses a throwaway line. Because once again, then he doesn't really touch it, right? Then it's fine.
Well, if you use the throwaway line, I'm okay. If you do use the water, I'm happy. But if he shits on the book, I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, this dude. Yeah. Again, it's gonna be one of those things.
January, February, March. Oh shit. So he waits till after celebration too, because he's gonna be there.
Over by
Yeah. Because I mean, you don't want to. Like you do. Have you ever noticed that he just conveniently?
They might show it. Honestly, though, they might. Well, they probably won't have time to show the whole thing, but they might show an episode.
Yeah, they might show some. Yeah. But I don't know if that's a good move because, like, if you do it and it goes wrong, I have a feeling like there's a murmur of Star Wars fans out there that are kind of, I mean, maybe not as animated about us, but when you talk to some of the Star Wars people, they're like, "What is Dave doing over here?" And like for the longest time, I was the biggest defender of it, but like. You're right. The last couple things he's done where he's touched properties for no reason. It was funny because the kids were watching Bad Batch and the Kanan thing came up. And I just remember that was the beginning of it. And I was defending him. I was like, well, from a certain point of view, JJ, and you're like, nope, look what he's doing. It's going to get worse. And you were 100% right. He just is like, well, I didn't write that book. I didn't put that down on paper and I didn't show it on a TV show. So that's not.
He gets to go back and say, well, this is the way it really happened.
This is the way it really happened. Because I think that's what he said during that time. But that's kind of getting old at this point. All right. So anyways, we'll go right from there into Ventress stuff. Since we're talking about her.
Did you get that picture I sent you? Did you get that picture I sent you?
I did. I'll screenshot it later too. What do you think that is? Do you think that's
I wanted to show it to you and ask you what you thought. Because I'm at a loss. Because when I saw that, I go, okay.
Yeah, see, the weird part is that's what I was saying about the helmet. Like the weird. So here, I think
I don't know. It's Dave, and move along.
Yeah.
I'd like Dave. If we do that, if we have time at the end, I'd like JJ's opinion on this too. To be honest.
I'll actually pull up to the part of the trailer where that happens and get it blown up into widescreen so we can talk about it. I think it just might be. I don't know. Are you saying what species it is, or what? I guess what's the question on it?
No, we've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, but it's also because it's got a weird mask on, right?
Is it the mask or is that? I don't know. We're gonna have to look at it at the end. I know you guys.
Oh yeah, his face looks like a butt prune. You're right. His face does look like a butt prune for sure.
He's officially put prune face in the.
Yeah, he's officially got like butt prune face. So like
prune face is now a real character.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's get into Ventress. Yeah,
all things Athos Ventress. So we're starting with the usual. We'll do a quick rundown on our comics here. This first one is just a fun cover by. I always like this cover.
Yeah,
this is Return to Vader's Castle #3. This is the B cover, which I'm pretty sure was this interior art blown up, or I can't remember if they drew it.
I think it was.
But either which way, it's a good, great cover. You can still pick it up for like $4, like $3-4. Like
I'll be honest with you, for $4. I'm surprised it's still $4. I would have figured this would have gone down to $1 because it wasn't really even that selling for that much when it came out. People do love it though.
You can probably pick it up $1 bins, to be honest. Like I'm giving you kind of
good shape,
the average online price. Yeah, in good shape. But yeah, to me, it's very Dracula-esque, which fits the Vader's Castle theme.
Those Vader castles are great covers, especially some of the Bs are like really dope.
They are.
I think if they put it out now, I think the thing that hurt the Vader Castle covers was one, it was 19 and it was right in that weird stuff where people were just buying everything, but they didn't know what to buy and they didn't know, like you couldn't actually say what was cool. Everything had to be cool and everything had to be worth $1 million later on, right? And I think if you go back and you look at some of those Vader Castle B covers, just amazing stuff on it. They're like actual fan, like it's the stuff fans like. So,
yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Next, we'll get into some of her actual kind of keys. So, this was kind of for a long time. Does anybody remember why this was considered a key? By the way,
is this Ahsoka in a bubble? First time in continuity?
Yeah, like Ahsoka in like thought bubble of Marvel.
Thought bubble. First Marvel continuity of the circle.
How many absurd things can we toss in there to make this?
Which actually technically wasn't, because technically it was IDW.
Yeah, well, she's also in Mace Windu 5 or whatever that one. Miniseries, the first miniseries or whatever. So. Yeah. So, anyways, this is Age of the Republic Special #1. This is the Koi Fam variant, 2019. It is one of the few covers that actually, granted, it's probably gone down. Like I think this used to be like a $40 or $50 raw book.
Oh yeah, it used to be expensive.
That's about $22, but it's not bad. That's only a B cover, mind you. This was not an incentive variant. So, for being just a B cover, $22. Not bad.
Yeah, still not bad.
Yeah, so. Yeah,
and now that you can actually get it, I remember us telling people, like, do not buy this book. Because it was like, I think it was above $50 at one time, JJ. I don't know, Ruben, do you remember? It was getting up there high. Like, I think it was getting up to
it was up there.
Yeah.
I think the highest I saw was 65. If I'm not mistaken, the highest I ever saw was 65.
65? Okay, yeah. So at least it's coming back down. I mean, it really should. The cover's dope, though. There's 2 covers to this too, but this one is.
Yeah. This should be this should basically be just a cover by, right? The first appearance in continuity of a thought or something like that is not really something you should probably gamble on.
Okay, well, hold on.
Future investments.
Hold on. So the A cover was selling for that, but if you recall correctly,
the A cover now sells for less than cover price.
Okay, but this B cover, somebody then tried to use it as first Ventress cover.
Right,
like something or another, and it was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's when when you had to start using adjectives. I think we're still dead and burnt from it. Like when you have to say first appearance under a Marvel mag, you got to put all those precursors on something that's not what you say it is. Like it just isn't. It's
first
not
cover in modern Marvel variant cover
B
thing.
Cover thing you ever.
Really?
Yeah,
it's not a real thing.
That's not a real thing. But I mean, it's still a cool cover.
They did a virgin one for the Turkish, right? They did a virgin one.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah,
I keep track of all those. But yes,
I'll be honest. The Turkish thing one day, maybe we'll get into what that was. But that also was kind of I mean, that whole
it was its own thing.
Yeah, it's like that's pretty much like, hey, we're just gonna because we can legally
Dwayne's
steal
right,
stuff. We're gonna just
mandible.
legally steal stuff.
First
Right.
mandible jaw.
Is it? I don't know.
It looks like it.
All right, next up.
So this was a fun one. Again, this was a book that kind of raised up in price. But this is Star Wars: The Clone Wars #8. It was published in 2009. It was told the story of Ventress showing up and ambushing Plo Koon, who was with the Wolfpack at that time.
Why doesn't he do this story? Why doesn't he do this? Would be this would be Dave's story.
Actually, this is obviously non-canon now, but they kept elements of the story because this is where Wolf gets his scar.
Yeah. So he could 100% do this. Dude, could you imagine if this is like if there's 3 episodes and one of the episodes turns out to be this? That's gonna be wild, bro.
Yeah.
For the people that don't understand what we're talking about here, you got one of his Dave Filoni has got a life-size statue of the character that's on this cover, Plo Koon. Like, that's his favorite, he said, Star Wars character before, which is just wild in itself. He's always said that he wants to do more stuff with it. And there's a story, and he has gotten a scar that he has kept on there that for the longest time has no explanation because it's not part of canon currently. We will see. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a possibility this could show up there, which is kind of interesting. I'm looking up right now. Do you know offhand, is this his cover?
No, I don't think so. Filoni cover?
No.
I don't
he does 3 covers in this series. I can't remember.
I think they were all earlier. I don't think he did these later ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
He might have done number 10 is like ships or something like that, and Anakin flying one or something. But he might have done that one, but I don't think he did this one.
It's not. It's Scott. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, always a fun little book to pick up. The funniest thing I always thought about this too is that, especially if you read the inside of the book, and even on the cover there, you can see like Plo Koon's dressed in like deep winter gear because they're on like an ice planet, like office kind of. And like she shows up like she's just came back from the gym, workout clothes. Like, how are you not freezing to death? Is that like a Ventress thing I didn't know about before? She can't freeze to death. Yeah,
it's a sports bra. That's all it needs.
Yeah, sports bra and hip hugger shorts.
Yeah. What does the 9.8 go for this? The 9.8 still pretty decently. I mean, it's not like it's like over.
Actually, yeah. The 9.8, I think around like 90 to 110. I think is what the 9.8 kind of sold for. Yeah, that's not bad considering your raws are 15.
That's actually a good buy point for it too. If you can get it for under $100, I think if you get 9.8s on some of these, like just non.
And a lot of these are beat because nobody cared about the Clone Wars series.
Oh my God, nobody cared about them.
And they were pretty considered kids' books, and they were bent and beat up and tossed around and everything else. So.
Yep. No, I mean that's a solid book.
And then we have.
I love Discovery.
Can you guess why this one's kind of a key for Saz Ventress? Maybe on the cover they tell you it's the origin of Saz Ventress.
Also, is it the German version of this? Is 3 different. It has 3 different stories of it, and it doesn't have this story. I think on the inside,
it doesn't have her in it. It's just her on the cover and the
yeah.
So, published around the same time this came out. Now, granted, they did change aspects of her origin as they went on. I think like Dooku Lost changes it quite a bit from what they kind of explain it in this book, but still, this is also considered one of the few earlier covers she gets. So it's a good little pickup. It's still about sales on this kind of varied widely. Like I saw some as low as like $9 and some all the way up to like $35.
Okay.
So the average kind of fell right in between around 18.
Yeah, so high grade's like 35 and then low's like 8.
Yeah, but I didn't find a 9.8 sold, but I did find there was like one 9.4 sale which sold for like $40. And then there was a lot of 9.8 listings for like several $100s. Weird.
I wonder what's going to happen with her in this. Like we've seen that, like her. Once again, I bring up the animation part because when you look at X-Men, even like 97 comes out, and all the characters that show up in 97, no matter how big or small, they blow up. Right? Like better than even the movies. Like even the movies didn't do the numbers that. Like the live action, the animation, but the animation series is something that's dear. Ventress is like the quintessential like Star Wars animation character, right? Like all her love is from animation.
Especially for a female villain.
Yeah, it's from nothing else.
Female villains you get.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you read the book, but you're only reading the book if you know who she is. And the only way you know who she is if you watched Clone Wars, right? So, like, I just wonder, kind of like how 97 happened, if we start seeing some of these books that, like, pandemic were like this book in the pandemic was like $45 for some reason. You know what I mean? I wonder if we start to see, I wonder if we start to see crazy. Well, because what they do is they take this book and they take I'm not going to mention the other book because I know it's coming up. They take those books, they start bundling them, then they start separating them. And what did they call this? I can't remember what they called this, but was it like second
origin?
grade?
You usually saw origin, or sometimes I think second cover or something.
Yeah, second cover or something like that. Yeah, it'd be second cover. Yeah, so it started getting really for the high grade. What'd you say the high grade was on this right now? 32.
Well, there's a lot of listings, but yeah, the highest price.
Yeah,
for Raw.
The
highest price I saw for Raw was 35.
Yeah, so I mean, we're only talking like, a $20 difference there of what the height was during the PAM for this. I just wonder if we're going to see small spikings in some of these books, because I think collectors are going to say, "Oh shit, look at how cheap this is now. I can go pick it up," right? Because people don't forget that stuff. Like they won't know what this book is, but they like even you said it when you saw it. You're like, "Oh damn, yeah, I love this book." Well, Ruben, why do you love this book?
I said I love the cover.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cover buy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we have her first cover.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
We get this is on. Oh, by the way, of course, I probably didn't have to mention it, but I will. I'll go back real quick. Some people at least kind of wonder why the blue lightsaber. This is her as a Jedi initiate.
Yeah.
Whatever, knight, not Padawan, I guess.
Yeah.
Is she a Padawan though? I can't remember if she's a Padawan or a knight. She has that one master. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, she's like, you're right. Initiative, I guess, is.
Yeah.
God bless Dark.
Whatever rank she is, she was a Jedi.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. Any which way, we get her actual first cover here. This being a bit of a double dip. The first appearance of Dirge is like right before this one, and you get her being on there with Dirge. So a lot of people pick this up for both of them.
Ruben, we did it wrong. Hold on, JJ, we did it wrong. Fact is, she's gonna be there, Dirge. So because bounty hunters, Boba Fett. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be there.
You know what I'm saying?
Dirge.
There you go. That's my boy George.
Facts that Dirge, bounty hunter.
Hey, George is gonna go down.
Yeah.
I love it.
It could happen.
All
right, go ahead. Sorry, JJ.
No, you're fine. I think I got the date wrong. I think it's supposed to be 2008. I don't know why I put 2003.
Yeah.
Any which way, the price is about half of probably where it was at its height. I think this was actually close to approaching like an $80-$100 book somewhere in there. I feel like at its height, so it's fallen off quite a bit, but it's still not doing bad for these old kind of. I don't want to say old Republic, but these older Star Wars Republic Dark Horse books.
Can I be now that we can actually have a conversation about? I don't understand the fascination with Dirge. He wasn't a good character in any aspect. Like he looked like sperm in the cartoon. Because remember, he just he's this blue like googly gook that starts like wrapping around. Like it's wild. Like.
I mean, they made him infinitely better, I think, in this comic series.
Yeah, but then they still but he still couldn't blow up ever. Like I just don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they wanted to create kind of like a Terminator. I think they wanted to create like a Terminator type character, who kind of like never die and like just.
That does sound about right. Yeah,
that's kind of what they came up with.
Good, Ruben. I don't get it either. I never understood why people like the character, but
yeah. If you ever watched Samurai Jack, which was Genndy Tartakovsky who did, that's where Dirge first came about, was that Clone Wars.
Yeah,
he's very big on like liquidy and inky type things exploding in his animations.
Yeah. It's very.
That explains Dirge a little bit too.
Yeah, he spooges out of his suit at one point, which is just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so he was big on that.
Mm-hmm. I bet you he was. All right.
And we got the actual. Oops, I meant to change that to first appearance, not first cover, but this is the actual first appearance of her. Star Wars Jedi Mace Windu #1 from 2003. Now this book has crazy fallen off from its height.
Yeah,
I don't have to tell you guys what it was. Like, I don't know. I mean, this is easily over $100 book. Right. Probably like $150 book, even raw.
Yeah,
at one point. So.
Oh, Wayseeker cries. I know Wayseeker bought this for too much, so he like is in tears every time we have to go over this book.
Yeah,
he's my favorite book. I was like, yeah, all right, buddy. Okay, good luck with it.
One thing I think, for something like this, when it falls like this, I think part of it is obviously part of it's circumstances outside of comics and all that involved too.
Sure.
But you also have, I think, a lot of these copies like came out of the woodwork, so to speak.
Yeah.
To be sold. So, at first people thought it was a pretty like low printed raw book. Now you have no problem finding it anywhere.
Okay, I think that's
sold for the most part.
I think that's part of it, but I also have got to say, like, that's where I'm saying there's the niche part with her. I'm not sure. Yes, there's a lot coming up, but I'm not sure there's that many people that love her as much as like, I don't know. Like, I just because I was, and the only reason is because I was talking to a couple people about the trailer this week, and who they didn't bring her up at all. All they talked about was Cad Bane. I was like, yeah, well, Ventress is coming back too, and they're like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Well, like I said, if you haven't read the book or you don't watch animation, though, you don't know. Cad Bane has the benefit of being in live action, right?
Yeah,
in a fairly. I mean, Book of Boba Fett was what it was, but it was a fairly highly watched show.
Yeah, people watch
Star Wars. So, like, you have that benefit of him showing up in that, where she hasn't shown up in anything besides animation or a novel. So,
Buffy guy, we played a trailer. We already got demonetized. That happened like the first 2 minutes, bro.
Yeah. So, I mean, unless you're a Star Wars fan enough to have done one of those two things, you don't know who she is.
Yeah, fair. So, yeah, I didn't know if it was there. But once again, I just wonder. I just think it's going to be interesting. Maybe it's because I like the character so much, I want to see it, and I loved what happened with X-Men '97. I'm not saying these books should go back up to like $300 for a 9.8 for this, but like I would like to see a little price jump in some of these books because I think that means that there's still an interest.
I almost wonder though, do you think that has been tanked at all? Because I almost wonder if they. Normally, like you said, when something like this happens, when somebody shows up, even in animation, there's a little bit of a bump, right?
Yeah.
I almost wonder if they didn't burn that bridge already with Bad Batch, though. Because you literally just did this stunt, like, where you brought her back, like, a year and a half ago, not even that long ago.
I'll be honest, I don't think anybody was watching fucking Bad Batch. And I don't think that helped.
Probably not, but I mean, if you follow Star Wars kind of universe at all, like on YouTube or internet or anything else, you probably heard about it. So
yeah, but this is more like they're like, okay, Star Wars has got all these random one-off characters. You know what I mean? This is not going to be her being random one-off. This is, if he does the story right, this should be a character. She's an easy layup character to have new fans love, right? Like she's a very look, dude. I'll be honest with you too. Like she don't wear no clothes, and she got crazy eyes. There's dudes sweating hard. They see a chick with shaved sides. Hair on the side, crazy eyes, like they're imagining all types of wild stuff. So you're gonna get that crowd. She's very strong and forthright, so you're gonna get the pro strong female crowd. She's a psycho. You're gonna get dudes that like psychos. You're literally getting and she's always walking in a tank top in fucking boxers or boy shorts. Like
that's what the other thing I was gonna say though is like. We all know the Ventress from Dark Disciples. That Ventress, was betrayed, kind of became an anti-hero, force for good, say Quinlan Vaughn. But if you haven't read Dark Disciples, you don't know anything about it. You haven't seen Ventress as like that kind of anti-hero or reluctant hero character. You've only seen her as a villain.
Thanks.
I mean, I guess you saw her in Bad Batch, but that was like 20 minutes, and she did try to choke them to death. So
yeah. No, I just think that there's a lot to go on with this character that can crosswalk, and I'm not sure that they explored that in Bad Batch. I think you're right, and then like you even in this Dark Disciples, you do have the love story that goes on there. Hey, listen, Ed, it's like people love either ones. They like blood pressure blowing up, or they like the calm version. I mean, I can't give you. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
There's a distinct absence of two elements that might live.
Yeah. There's also two guys that aren't goading me on, and if I'm honest, I may have drinking 2/5 of Kettle One last night. So
you're sedated.
Yeah, a little bit, and that was before I started drinking bourbon. So like a little bit of a hangover at this point.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but no, this is a cool book. I liked it. I actually don't like this book that much, but I do wish she was in one of the other ones. But I think like she's also got cool books to be in. Like this overall, the Mace cover on this is sweet. The other two, like Ruben said, like that one's 100% a cover by. She's got great cover by covers. Like she's a great character altogether. So I hope it works out for her.
You know more about me. This is just a random question, but do you think you can press this book? Because isn't it kind of thicker and almost kind of square down?
I mean, you can, but like, I think in some of these books, especially the Dark Horse stuff, the problem is when you're pressing it. Some of them, because of like the lineage and stuff, like there's a coat that DC had on it, and now that they're looking hard for cleaning, you'll also see like these. I hate to use the scuff marks, but you'll see scuff marks in some of these after you press them out. So it just depends on. I mean, I would use a black light very, very closely with some of these books. Yeah. And to be honest with you, with anything that's Dark Horse, I will tell you look for flocking, which is like a mold that occurs, and you can see it when you open up the page on the backside. Because I don't think a lot of people actually open the front page to look on the backside. And back
cover page, by the way.
Yeah, and back cover page, yeah. But I know inside a lot of DH, because of how it was stored, like there's a lot of that flocking like mold that's in there, which is like a whitish tint gray mold, and sometimes it just looks like.
I hate to keep repeating myself, but in 2003, nobody gave a shit about Star Wars comics.
No, and you got to remember. I mean, I said
they were stuck in a box in the garage and forgotten about it or something.
I mean, I think people have to realistically see this. This is something we mentioned about the like we were talking about it early, and I think people come to that realization that like now years later they see when we know what we're talking about because we're actually. Not just on the internet, we actually are out there. And like Dark Horse had pallet sales. They were like, we've got 3 weeks to empty out everything because it's going over to Marvel. They didn't have a lot of time, and they were literally selling pallets of these books. And I'm talking like a pallet, which had, you could have thousands of books there. I think 1,000 books was costing you $180 plus shipping, like plus drop shipping, like. You're pretty much paying shipping and you were getting free pallets of books. So people were doing that and it was all left over. And as you can see with what's happening on Diamond now, I think people are a little bit more hip to how the comics work. It used to be like, oh, there's a warehouse find. It's not a warehouse find. It's in Diamond's warehouse. Like we know where it is. It's
a warehouse. But it's not a find. You knew where it was the whole time.
Everybody knew where the shit was. It just is like they had to liquidate it, and Diamond had to get rid of all that stuff, and Dark Horse had to get it off their books. So they just moved everything. It's not. I don't think it's as glamorous as people think it is. I do know that I get a lot of response back that people find it interesting when I talk about that type of stuff. But there's some people who just don't find it interesting at all, and then they're like, "Well, it sounds a lot better."
At this point in time, Dark Horse sold their own books directly. Too.
Yeah, you're not thinking that. No, they did sell them directly too. On top of that, you're right.
Yeah,
they sold them both. Yeah. So,
but now we're gonna take a trip.
Boo! I already shit over this in that interview. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I used this picture because I knew it would make Marco unhappy. So, anyways, the Outer Rim here is just gonna be a few stuff outside of comics, outside of the norm we normally cover. Just a few quick little interest items.
Sure.
Pick up on. First, Marco may remember this.
Yeah, so this is good.
These there. How many was there? Was there 6? I think it was basically a big pack of convention promos for Star Wars Unlimited that came out last year.
It was Maul, her. It's 4, right?
Yeah, I can't remember if it's 4 or 6. But yeah, there were several in there. But the Ventress by herself is going for about $21
nice.
On the market. So now we're taking it. The only problem is the whole pack now is very expensive. So and each individual card does not add up to the amount you pay for the convention pack. Like the convention pack right now, the current price on TCG Player is about $300. The highest individually priced card is about $50.
Oh, really?
So it doesn't quite average out to where you think it would be. So if you find those things out, the packs or whatever you want to call them out there for cheap, maybe keep them sealed to retain your value.
Yeah.
Rather than break it open and be like, I want that $20 interest. But if you find this card out on its own somewhere, not a bad card.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And we have this was I think her first Clone Wars action figure. I can't remember. Well, she might have had one under the beginning. So there's this is her first.
Yeah.
Wasn't this her first? I think like Disney Clone Wars or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, there's the carded Hasbro singlet, which is, and that's a wild one to get. But then there's this. Yeah, this is probably one of the more popular ones.
Yeah. So this was number 15, released in 2008, and I think when these came out, somebody can maybe know better than me that knows figures. I think they were like $20-$25, somewhere around there. So no,
15.
No, those figures were not $25. Is that the
More?
3
Less?
3/4 inch?
3.75 inch.
3 3/4 inch?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, those were back then. Those were $7-8.
$7-8.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the set.
I thought it was like
they were not that expensive. They were not that expensive. They didn't change until after COVID. After COVID, everything jumped up and it was like double in price.
They had that flat
figures.
Go ahead.
No, I was still buying figures in sets, and they were like $5 in 2002, 2003.
They had the other one, the flat back before this, that didn't have the Clone Wars backside logo, right? There was a figure out before this.
There was a figure.
There was one listed for 2008, and there was one listed for 2010. So I hope I got them right. I don't know.
No, this is a 2008, but there was one before it. I think there's like 2000. I want to say 4 or 6 or something like that.
They did a small run, and it was, I think, from the animated.
Animated from the Gindi.
They did a very small run.
Yeah,
I didn't buy them because I was like, I wasn't really a big fan of them, so I didn't get them. But they did make a small run.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Then we have something that is interesting. This is a 5th scale instead of a 6th scale. 5th scale, I saw as interest Mythos statue from Sideshow. This is kind of interesting in the fact that this came out around like 2020, right? And I think it was about was it 2020 or 2021? But it was like $620 or whatever it came out, and you can actually still buy it on Sideshow's website for like $620 if I looked at it correctly.
No, so there's 2 versions. I think there's 2 versions.
Well, no, I'm not done yet.
Okay,
I'm not done yet. So there are 2 versions of it, but this is going for about an average of $415 on eBay. This version here. Now there's a new version out with what they call the Mythos Premium line for Sideshow, which want to guess how much that one is?
I thought that was a $600 one. No,
that is the $900.
Oh, get out of here!
Oh.
So I don't know what makes it premium. I don't know if it's bigger. I don't know if it's different material or what. But supposedly these broke pretty easily. Like pieces of these, like her robe and stuff would kind of break quite a bit. There's actually a couple sales on eBay for broken ones. So, but literally, if this is a fan of yours and you can find somebody to pack it carefully enough, you can pick this up for about half the price of what the new premium one will cost you.
That's nice.
And last but not least, we have what is probably my favorite Star Wars, one of my favorite Star Wars Insiders magazines. This is Star Wars Insider 159. This was the previews exclusive cover, so this was the cover you pick up in a comic shop at that time.
Yeah.
And it tells the tale of, and now of course I say that and I completely forget the lady's name, Larissa or something like that.
Larassa.
Yeah, it was like a pirate that that she teamed up with and kind of formed their own like kind of mercenary pirate gang or whatever. And this tells the story of them kind of squaring off against Hondo Inaka's pirate gang on a job. And it's actually a pretty interesting little short story inside here.
Was that the Blood Gang? I can't remember, but I think that was called.
I think it was, yeah, something like that. But a good little Star Wars Insider.
That's actually a possibility of a story they might use, like or something similar to that too.
Yeah.
Which means,
the weirdest thing about this, couldn't find sales on it at all. It's some of these previews and subscriber exclusives for this are pretty rare, and this one couldn't find a sold price anywhere.
Really? Yeah, it's
nice.
nice.
I didn't look a whole lot, but I didn't even see a listed price for this cover at least.
I mean, people, they don't care about the story on this one too. This like people love, and I can see why. It is a great cover, so I can see why people love it as a great cover.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, I mean, I have this cover, and I have it for the story inside. But yeah, I don't know.
But that was the last one. So that was
what was the other cover for this? Do you remember?
So there's there's two. Well, there's actually 3 versions, I think, but the other one's I think a UK thing. But there's these newsstand cover, which is I think it was Ahsoka and Vader.
It's Ahsoka and Vader, yeah.
On the cover of the newsstand, and of course had the trade dress and everything all over it. And then there's the subscriber exclusive, which that was the same cover of Ahsoka and Vader, minus all the trade dress, like a virgin cover, sort of. It still says Star Wars Insider, but all the other trade dresses.
Also, still I mean I guess you could get the non-trade dress. You can get cheaper now. It used to be more expensive, $1 for a crappy version, 25 for a nice version. That's kind of cool, man. Yeah, 100%. I mean, but like just to get the story, because I think the story's worth it. That's what I'm telling you. Like, they just didn't do a good job of having her in Clone Wars. They did a really good job writing her story, no matter who had it. I don't know who did the inside story on this. Between this and the novel, they did a great job with her, and
they actually reprinted this too in the there's like Star Wars Insider Fiction collections, which is basically the short stories of all the Star Wars things, like reprinted in a couple like hardback books. Yeah, they reprinted it, I think, in the 2nd volume of that. So
yeah, I mean, it's a wild. I like it. It's cool. It is. I just looked it up. It is hard. I could probably go back to Go. I can go to Go later and see what it is.
I only went back like 3 months, so there's probably some sales.
Yeah, you do the quarter anyways. It doesn't matter because sometimes it's so weird to try to like get outside of like the quarter, like what quarter sales, and then you got to go back.
I have a feeling if you really look back, like this one would probably
go look at tariff or whatever. Yeah,
you maybe see this one come up like once or twice a year, maybe. Probably.
Well, also too, there's a huge sell off. Like there's some of the stuff because the price got so big on it, you don't see it at all anymore because the list price was too big, and then people took it down or whatever because they sick of getting lowballed. But also too, in most of this, people went out and tried to go get it graded, and it doesn't come back in good grades. Yeah. And then their next step is like, well, what's it going for? I can't find a list. And I'll tell you, like that's probably the biggest question I have. I wish Wayseeker was here because of it. Stop posting about people dying on. What is he doing? All right. Anyways,
Wayseeker's much better at the price finding.
Yeah,
like 5-year-old sales or something.
But not just like that. Like we used to talk a ton about like especially when he started off, like how do you price stuff when you don't know what should be priced, and like that's one of the books where like you have to. I mean, I know people use Go Collect and everything else, but there's a couple other places you can go, and there's other ways of kind of trying to figure out where you should be at percentage wise compared to other stuff copies, and people won't spend the time with it, especially because it's probably not worth it, right? It's probably only worth
the tricky thing is too, these aren't like, I don't know about Go Collect because I don't specifically use that one, but these Star Wars Insiders aren't always listed on your price guide, your online price guide and stuff. So
no, no. Yeah, you gotta do a little bit of the legwork to get it down. Yeah. What is it? Hold on, give me 1 second. Was it Star Wars Insider
159? Yeah, it's the previews exclusive, or PX. Sometimes they just put PX.
I just logged in, since we're doing it. Hey, since we're already demonetized and we already were looking at a bunch of other stuff, I might as well just go and
go all in.
Go all in and just look at the internet today with everybody. 19. No.
Can we put it on the screen?
No, don't put it on the screen because I think my account number can show up. I don't want that happening. Star Wars Insider. Let's see what it is. Yeah, a lot of asking prices. Asking?
I forgot about the comic. I forgot about the comic pack.
No, hey, Dom. Shh. We'll take care. Okay, I'll look at that later to see if I can pull up the price on that. But yeah. Speaking of that stuff, let's get into comics this week, and then we can get into the. We didn't have any new comics this week, so we're going into coming soon. Next week, we're getting Jedi Knights. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. People are digging this series if you aren't reading it. The inside art's kind of dope. It's kind of like good Dark Horse inside art. You know what I mean? Because there's some bad Dark Horse inside art. But people are like, you got a bunch of different books here. You got the 1 in 100. You got the 1 in 25 for the Jedi Knights. I'm not quite sure you need all those. Just grab the A cover. Have a good day with it. Story looks pretty good. Read some of it already. Also, too, next week we've got the the foil and the 25 cents copy. Also, there's going to be, I think, a version of the 25-cent copy on sale at Celebration for a Celebration exclusive.
Just when I needed a 1 in 25 of a reprint.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, and that's just what you need. A Celebration exclusive of a 1 in 25 of a reprint. I got to be honest. I like the foil versions of it. It's just the price tag for this. I'm going to wait about a year and then buy it for half. But I think they're cool. I mean, not just Star Wars ones like DC and everything else. As far as the 1 in 25, yeah, I'll try to get it at Celebration. If it sells out, it sells out. So I'm not going to hold my breath on it. That's it. That's FOC, no FOC. We did a little add-on to our stuff. So I want to look back because, as I've been saying, seeing what stuff's selling for. We pulled up, we know why we did this. Darth Maul #2, first Cad Bane. Or as JJ likes to put it, first Cad Bane in an auction in the background.
Mingling in an auction.
Mingling in an auction. And this thing it is, man, a 9.6 for $16.50.
Oof.
Less than $20.
Did that 9.6 go for less than the Raw?
Yeah, less than the Raw. At this point, just crack it and just leave it
no
open.
kidding.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of fallen off. And these are like numbers that you saw with the trailer. So people are buying, like the actual volumes picked up, but it's not for a lot of money. I'll tell you that much. But it's kind of interesting because they must have had a dozen sales, which is better. There was a 9.8 that sold two for $72.99. Like, wow. Guys, let me give you a little advice here. I could just pull it over here because I think I have it right here. Just go get a piece. Here, you can use here. This is perfect example.
Oh boy.
Do you know if he's bringing up the AHA one?
I don't
When
know.
you go do your listings, right? You see what this is right here? This is very cheap. You just go to your local Myers, you go whatever. This is like a curtain, right? And all you do is you take this thing and you just
about the picture.
You take a dark side of this and you literally just take some wall tape and you put it up there if you're gonna do it on the wall, or you put it on a table and you do it as a background and you cover it where you put it as a square so it looks like a box. It's an easy trick to do so that it actually you can see what the comic actually looks like. So I don't have to see your indoor, outdoor. No offense to this guy's
crown molding.
Yeah. Or your generic crown molding and like all the other stuff too. But it also, the reason why I'm saying is it also makes the book pop. And I mean, this is like $2.30, right? Or you could just go to Joann Fabrics and get a line of fabric. But if you use this, it's got so many, like this just goes up on the table. I put a little stand there, or like I will hang it up on the backside of a wall. You can use push pins with this part. What's that?
I was going to ask if it's appropriate to eBay or message eBay sellers and ask them where they got their carpet from. I kind of like that texture of.
That's you know what this is? That's like Pulte Home. This is like the Pulte Home baseline carpet that they put in every Pulte home. Like this, I can tell you who built this home. I can tell you who built it. All right. White on white, no kickboard, just
it's apartment carpet.
Yeah. It probably does. I'm not saying, I'm not knocking the person's house. No, I'm just saying, like, you're right. You're 100% right. But this is the generic, like, this is builder choice crown molding. I mean, there's no foot molding. I'm not knocking it. I'm sorry.
It may be a $500,000 home, but I still don't know that I want to see it next to the.
I'm just saying, like, if you got
two, I'm buying.
if you got it, you could. I'm just saying this helps. Like, just get one of these. Just you could put a couple pins up if you have to, or whatever, or you can do whatever. It's just a little tip or trick. I'm trying to help, and I'm trying to help people out here. And you're acting like I'm ragging on them because I'm just saying, like, we don't need to see.
I've sold the old like put it over a chair.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And then prop it
up because you could just do a close up on it. Yeah,
take literally like a blanket, like a dark blue or a black blanket.
Just trying to help the people out, Ed. Just trying to help them out here. That's all we're doing.
Trying.
Then maybe you can get some kick molding. People forget about this book. This is the
40th. Was it 40th?
Yeah, 40th anniversary. Taylor Christensen, whatever. And actually, the 9.8 sells for 40, which is kind of cruddy. But the raw versions do regularly sell for 20. Now they don't come up all the time. And honestly, this has been an old listing that sold earlier this year before it. But when they do, people buy quickly. So don't buy it in a 9.8 unless you need it for your collection. But it's time to get it. This is the big one. The Aja.
Aya. It could be Aya.
AJA.
AJA. Yeah. I wasn't shitting. I was not. Oh my God. AJA. 350. The one just sold, and it sold for $350. Still doing really good in the 9.8, dude. That's still a solid book. So I wasn't trying to shit on people. I was just saying, like, I'm trying to help them out.
I goaded you into it a little bit.
I know. So here we go. Darth Maul number 3. This is actually first cover appearance, first first whatever the heck you want to call it.
He's doing something other than just standing in the back at an auction.
Right. 9.8's going for $58.50. I really don't think that's wild, but like also same day one sold for $62.90. So once again, I don't even know if it makes a difference. I mean, they're the only 2 that sold that day, and the only 2 that were in 9.8 that were actually available. So first Cad Bane cover. That's what white Cad Bane. What does that mean? Oh, white pages. They're better at white pages. It's a modern comic. What are you talking about?
Not only that, like, you're not gonna look at how long the listing is underneath that. You could have added the word pages and been fine there.
Yeah,
you're not running out of space. You don't need to abbreviate it as white.
For sure. But hey, man, pick this book up if you haven't seen it. I know the third print says was. Now this is because I'm going to a convention. I guess we're looking at it, and this is one I actually want, but it was so expensive and sold out so fast that I never bought it. But let's see. This is the San Diego Comic-Con Black Series. This is Cad Bane and Toto. What is it, 2020? 2020. Did you get this, Ruben?
No. It's that expensive that I'm like, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of come down a little bit, right? It was like $135 at one point, so it's $65 now and $80. So like I think it might have gotten close to the $200 range, $210, but it has come down considerably. And actually, somebody snagged one. Now, condition matters. But maybe it doesn't. Somebody snagged one for $31. Yeah. So keep that on your list.
Buying a regular Black Series.
Yeah, I know. Shit. Yeah, it's cool. These are going up. Grab them. I think that has a price to go up. I did do a sideshow for Cad since he did all the Aja stuff. I did some Cad. There's a couple different ones that they have, but this is when he became a stormtrooper and was like posing as one. I thought it was pretty cool. Cad Bane, his disguise. I can't remember what year it was, but this originally retailed for $150. Selling now for $305, $350. It was, and I looked further down the line, and this is like regularly in that $295 to $375 range. If it's all together and in the box. So whatever. I like them every once in a while, Wookie. No, it's okay for that. What I'm saying is when you're trying to sell something. Okay, and here we go. Just for Rookie Fanatic.
A listing in which you're trying to like market it to people.
Yeah.
And versus your IGs, different.
Hey, listen, I'm not giving advice to anybody for anything anymore. I
don't care.
I was trying to be nice. I'm not being
nice. I'll sling it on like a plaid tablecloth and take it if it's for IG. I don't care.
I don't give a shit if it's for IG. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm just not giving advice to anybody anymore. I see what it is. I see what we're doing here. All right. This has already been mentioned. JJ pulled the dom and ruined it. Wookie didn't know any better, so it's okay. But here we go. The Star Wars Comic Pack Republic number 69 comes with Republic 69, the book in there. Once again, you guys know when you take these books out or if you see them digging through, they don't have barcodes on them. So that's one way to identify what the book is. I actually think they look really cool outside of them. I love it. I'm not opening up, as you can see probably back there, I've got a bunch of these packs still laying around. I got a bunch in tubs right there, actually. But I'm not opening them up. But I am saying that, like, I like the books outside of them. So I do dig dollar bins and try to get the books out because I think they look better than the original. However, this thing's dropped in price. Somebody, once again, here's where you don't do a background. You do what this guy did on this listing. Brilliant listing. Just give the worst shady pictures for your starting picture so you can't really tell. And then when you have to go into sub pictures, then you see that the box is actually tilted like this and there's tape on it. Maybe they put the figures back in and it looks like a kid opened it for Christmas. So that was sold for $18.50. But regularly it sells in the $45 range on average. Condition matters, toys, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was it. I had another one in there, but JJ covered that toy, so I took it out. Good stuff on that. That was a short week. I mean, we got some books next week, but to be honest with you, there is two. Are we covering it in news? anything that's coming out next week? Something that
No,
a
I didn't
different
think
type
I'd
of
put
comic. So there is a manga that's
week.
coming out next week, just so you guys know. But I didn't want to cover it because it might be covered
I
in
couldn't
news.
remember if Wayseeker put that in news last week or not. So
I don't know. Probably he'll be back next week and he'll be doing it. I know, Wookie. I know. I'm just giving you guys a hard time too. Here we go. Let's get into the only thing we do have a runner for. The news. And if you guys missed it before we get into the news, we will cover a couple questions we had with the trailer. If you guys have any questions or interest in the trailer too, you can leave them in the comments now. We'll kind of circle back to that after the news. Here we go. Let's get into the news, JJ.
This week in news for Star Wars. First up, there was actually a small Andor teaser released.
Yeah.
We didn't really see too much new, but it's out there. If people want to catch it. There was a couple of lines delivered, like they kind of talked to Andor about, kind of like, stepping up to be I can't remember the exact line, but kind of like stepping up to be a leader, kind of choosing, you're going to have to choose a role, so to speak, type of thing.
No.
But yeah.
I'm still excited. I actually, you know what? Like, this is where I think we were kind of talking to Dom, and now that he's not here and he's watching this, but hopefully he'll do this. Like when we were saying, hey, dude, just like give it a chance because there's a lot of things coming on the horizon between what they're doing with the animated series and what they're doing with this. Like, who's not happy with Star Wars? And by the way, the comics are making a turn too. But I think it's like kind of the time where they're actually making some good changes to Star Wars. I'm extremely excited about this. It just keeps looking better and better to the point that I think Ruben said it before. Do you watch all the trailers, or do you try not to watch some of them, Ruben?
I watched the majority of the trailers. I have skipped everything Andor only because I'm that excited. I don't want to know nothing.
Yeah. That I thought that was you. Yeah, and I kind of at the same point. Even after watching this, I'm like, God, man, it sucks I have to do this show because I really like to just leave it. Like I'm never like the Dom where I want to be like, you know what I'm saying. Like I like talking about like what could happen and stuff like that sometimes, but I don't want to like, I'm hoping this happens.
I like to pick apart things after they've occurred. Like I develop theories in my head. Like I think we kind of all do that, right?
Right.
But like as far as like actual like analysis and picking it apart and kind of where's this going to go? Like, I prefer to do that after I've like kind of digested it, so to speak.
I agree too, and I think Andor is the perfect way to do it. Unfortunately, since we had season 1, I think more people are trying to pick it apart. But I think like with that, and even with Ventress a little bit, we're like, yeah, please don't screw up the death thing. But like, I don't think cool, man. The Cad Bane thing, like, yeah, we're gonna get an OG story for Cad Bane. I think we're cool with that too. I think they're doing a lot of good stuff right now.
I am infinitely more excited about this than I was Tales of the Empire for Underworld. Only because of the fact that like it's two characters I actually enjoy and care about versus one character I'm kind of meh on and the other one I didn't care at all about. So
yeah. Well, I also think even with Andor though, like I'm more excited about it. See, like this is the problem too. There's two characters. Like I don't understand the infatuation of Lutheran. Like I like the collector of whatever. Like I like that, but I don't need.
But that's kind of just his like
cover.
Yeah, cover persona. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. But yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people I hear, they like want like 3 episodes just dedicated. I don't.
They just want to examine more Easter eggs in his vault of collectibles or whatever.
Yeah. They want to do the 864 Easter eggs that are none of them are actually Easter eggs because whatever. But like in the Mon Mothma stuff, like we know she's a cyborg now. I'm not sure. Like I get it and it's fine, but I want the backup characters to be the backup characters.
Perrin. I want more Perrin. I want more drunken Perrin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
But I want the main characters kind of shine, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. So. Like I'm kind of down with this. I love it.
Well, for me, I'm very much I'm looking forward to some of the side characters that we didn't quite finish their story in the first thing around.
Like the serial eating guy.
Yeah, well, not necessarily him, but big. I'm actually even looking forward to what happens with Deidre. Like I'm kind of intrigued by the Imperial side of things.
I think Deidre could be a really good character. So
yeah, so I'm more interested in that type of stuff, and also I'm interested in seeing like lot of the more of the old Rogue One characters that we haven't seen since Rogue One, like K2SO and stuff. So
I'm looking forward to Saw 2. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to Saw.
Yeah, Saw. I don't know. I went and replayed the Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor games, so I kind of got my dose of Saw a little.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that's just me. So but I don't mind seeing Saw again, and that book that Wayseeker made us listen to.
Oh my god, that thing was horrible. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. I'm excited. I think everybody's excited about this, so it's good.
Yeah. But we got even more Andor stuff because now we get the Empire magazine. And if you guys are familiar with what Empire magazine is a UK publication. Every time there's a Star Wars show or anything big Star Wars news-wise, you get this like information and interview dump from Empire magazine where they interview like everyone associated with the show ever. First up was kind of Tony Gilroy. Nothing really came out of the first couple articles out of this. Tony Gilroy kind of said like, oh, there's going to be like, I forget how he phrased it, seismic activity in all the characters or something like that. I don't really know what that means, but so he basically kind of just jazzing us up for stuff. But if you want to read that type of stuff, or if you're intrigued by what the actors and the directors say, pick up the Empire magazine or read it online, and you're sure to find a lot of stuff in there. So.
Which I think, I think part of it, the funny part is before this comes out, it will just this is where Dom lives, right? Like the Dom type person, like they love this because they can just make up what, even though the interview didn't say anything, all of a sudden the word "the" means something, right? Yeah. Oh, they said "the" in there.
Seismic activity means,
yeah.
Lando Calrissian is going to show up or something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I saw this picture online and first saw it, I was like, is that 4 missiles on the actual TIE fighter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it looks like it, yeah.
To the left?
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? I don't know if that's on the ground or on the TIE fighter. Then I was like,
I think it's inside the inside of the wing, right?
The wing, right?
Yeah.
Inside of the wing.
Looks like
yeah. I'm like, what the hell?
But, yeah, I mean, that's cool. Like that type of stuff's kind of cool to break down too. But I mean, the seismatic, whatever. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm most interested in what they tell, okay.
I don't think they ever tell you anything, anyways. It's a bunch of word salad.
Well, that's what they do, though, right? That's part of actors and directors and producers. It's all part of their job is marketing the thing before it comes out to people, and the interviews are one way they do that. But
yeah, for sure.
I think people just need to recognize that that's also its purpose. Like, don't get so ginned up or crazy over stuff, and then when something doesn't happen, get disappointed. Like, it's their purpose to kind of get you interested in it ahead of time.
Awesome.
It's their objective.
All right.
But speaking of interested in things ahead of time, way ahead of time, we got an absolute nothing burger of an interview from Collider, which they talked a little bit to the writer of the Star Wars, the Sean Levy, Ryan Gosling project is supposedly coming up. All he said was, I'm working on it. That's the quote.
Okay. Good. Keep working on it.
Good update. Yeah.
Thanks for the update.
I don't know why they asked the reporters and interviews, asked these guys so far at the time. They're not. He basically said, I'm working on it, but I can't tell you anything else.
Slow day at the office.
But we still got a rumor out of that somehow.
Wait, what?
We got a casting rumor that Jodie Comer is gonna be in the Star Wars Sean Levy movie. Which now this may just be a totally made up thing. I don't know. It may even already be shot down already. I have no idea.
Who is she?
She was in Free Guy. I'm trying to think of that. Killing Eve was a TV show she was on for a long time. She's been in a few movies, but she in Free Guy she worked with Sean Levy, so I think that's kind of why people are making that connection. So, but yeah, I don't know. She's a good actress. I've seen her in other stuff. I wouldn't mind this at all. I have no idea what role she's going to play, but what did Sean Levy do again? What did he write before? He's done a lot of movies. What was the Marvel movie he did? I think he did a Marvel movie. He's done like I said, Free Guy. I don't know. Let me look him up to see. I don't want to
I don't know if Free Guy was the best thing that I ever saw. I don't know. Yeah.
Actually, I always thought it was kind of weird because Sean Levy directed Free Guy, and Ryan Gosling, who's starring in it, starred in The Fall Guy.
Oh yeah, that's the guy that looks weird. Oh, he did Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah. Okay.
Wolverine.
Yeah. I knew he did a Marvel movie.
He did Real Steel. Yeah. Cheaper by the Dozen.
A lot of Hugh Jackman movies, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's had a long career. Like I said,
yeah, I mean, good for him.
Choices at all, but like I said, she's a good actress too. I don't want her. One fun fact though, like a long time ago, I can't remember if we actually put this on or if I just developed the slides for it. I think we actually put it on the air. We did like a casting the High Republic thing, and this actress Jodie Comer was my pick to play Avar Kriss.
Oh, nice.
Not saying that's what the movie's going to be about. I'm just saying fun little fact. Obviously, we already talked about this. The trailers dropped. Anybody who didn't watch it, we'll probably go over it a little bit, maybe more later. But anybody who didn't watch it at the start of our show, you can go watch it on. Well, wait till after the show is over, maybe. Watch on
we'll bring it back. Yeah. I mean, I think this is great. I think everything about it, and by the way, it's nice that it was a surprise. Like,
surprise!
I don't mind having a surprise. Yeah.
Well, I won't say completely. I don't know. Like I said in the group chat, we all kind of suspected they were working we knew it was on an animated project, but we didn't know what or who it would be about or any of that stuff. And I think I was pleasantly surprised to see that, because a lot of people kind of assumed another one of these like anthology things was going to happen for the animated stuff. But a lot of people assumed Sith, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We had Jedi, we had Empire, and I think a lot of people were assuming Tales of the Sith would be next. I'm kind of glad it wasn't. Like, to think this was a little more refreshing to get. I like both these characters, and to get two characters that are just like tales from the underworld, I'm all for that.
And I'm kind of glad they did it the way they did it too. Like, just how they released it. They didn't tell us ahead of time. I know Dom's gonna say, "Yeah, I knew it," but we know you didn't know it. And then like, this seems like characters we should be covering, right? Like, I'm glad you didn't do like, well, we're gonna do Underworld, but we're gonna do 60. We're gonna
give me another Boba Fett series. I like Boba Fett. But
not saying that Boba Fett ain't gonna show up in this.
Not everything has to be about him though. Like, I don't need him as the main character in every Underworld series there is.
Agreed. Yeah, really good though. I mean, nobody said a bad thing that I heard about this, so it should be good.
Looks real good so far. For you merch people, we got the Star Wars, a lot of Star Wars, like over 40 May the 4th products were added to the Disney store on April 4th. So if you want your May the 4th 2025 branded stuff, you can already buy it right now on April 6th, 2025. So,
oh my gosh.
Actually, there were some pretty cool. They did some of the shirts and stuff in like an anime style. It looks actually really nice. You got some of the pins up there. I think there's some art prints up there. They're about all in all, like, I think actual total was something like 42 actual products they put up. So go to the Disney store online if you guys want to pick those up.
Yeah, please.
We did get a novel announcement. This is dedicated to Wayseeker because I know he would have said something on this if I didn't. Star Wars Master of the Evil was announced, which everybody kind of assumes. We didn't get any plot details or anything like that. All we got was the Random House like listing for it, like publication listing for it. So we don't even know if it will actually happen, but we know this in the category of space opera, and I always used the Star Wars thing. Everybody assumes be named Master of Evil that it's going to be a Sith thing.
Yeah, for sure.
That doesn't necessarily mean it is, but it's kind of the assumption.
159. Yeah, fair enough.
Due out in November is what they scheduled it for. So.
Look, man. If we get, do we know who's writing it?
Nope. Didn't give an author, no synopsis, nothing.
Really?
Nothing yet.
Huh. Well, I mean,
I just said it may be a placeholder listing that's pulled down and something put in its place.
Something put in place. Yeah, for sure.
But
well, is there anybody that like? What if it? I mean, I hate to say this, but what if it's a Plagueis thing?
It could be.
That'd be great.
I mean, what if they fixed like? What if it's because they know they're not getting a season 2 of Acolyte? They're going, what if it's like an Acolyte related book, right? I mean, there is some rumors that they're going to do pre-Acolyte stuff that would be, Plagueis with what's the guy's name? They call him Sweaty or whatever. Sweaty, the guy with the mask.
The Quaimir?
The master guy or the guy. What's that?
You're talking about the stranger guy?
Yeah, the stranger.
Guy?
Yeah.
Sweaty guy.
Quaimir.
Yeah,
Quaimir.
Yeah, so maybe you get the Sweaty guy and like
Sweaty guy did not narrow it down for me at all.
You get a story of like how he met. Like I would go for that. I mean, you know how I like that. I like hey, you don't have to show us everything on the screen. You can actually, some of us can actually read. So put it in book format and let us like figure it out and read what's going on there. So I'm down with that. I don't know if everybody else has a problem with it, but I'm definitely 100%.
I'd be all for like a story centered around him or something like that.
Especially if you're not going to finish it off, right? We know for sure they're not finishing it off. So, yeah, let's go with that.
Yep.
Very nice.
Interesting. And for some reason, one of the Nintendo Switch launch titles announced for June 6th is going to be Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh my god!
For Nintendo Switch 2.
That's just a disaster.
I don't know. Now, I will say this: they've supposedly improved the game, although I haven't played it since the patch because I beat the game before they patched it, and I didn't want to go back and try to play it again. To be honest, or try to play the after game at all. But I find this very interesting, just as an exhibition to see how it'll run. Because there were points even on, like I played it on an Xbox Series X, and I also saw footage from PS5 and stuff. There were points on that when those consoles had trouble handling it a little bit.
Really?
I mean, now I don't know if those were like the software was just not up to snuff because supposedly that was some of the things they patched. Because there'd be like parts where like her facial features was kind of just like blanked off, and it was almost like a featureless Funko Pop thing. And then they would come back like later in a cutscene, but like supposedly those are things they patched through software. But I wonder how the Nintendo Switch 2 hardware is going to run it. And this should be an interesting way to see how it runs a game like this.
Okay, I don't want to get too into it, but I guess I do. Do you think there's going to be a lot of people buying this Nintendo 2? Because there's a delay on.
I don't know because I don't want to get into the political aspects of it, but they're saying the delay is because of the tariffs. There's other people saying. Yeah, it very well could be. And there's other people saying the delay is because of the price tag they stuck on that and the games is too high. People are upset with it. I don't necessarily think that's the truth. I've seen systems, granted the Switch is primarily a handheld system, though it's kind of both, but I've seen systems and consoles launch for $700 and not have any problem selling out on the first day.
I agree.
I worked in an electronics retail store when the PlayStation 3 first came out. And that thing was like $600 or $700 when it first came out. And there was no shortage of people lined up to buy that thing.
Right. So, but I mean, it's also a different clientele, right? Like the Switch. I mean, I'm actually ticked because I was hoping, I'm trying to buy another one for the trip to Japan. I was hoping the price would go down. But then I heard that they want you to spend $30 to convert your old games to the new one too. And I think there's there's
that'll be the rebellious part, I think, will be the price of the games. They're talking, at least for first-party games, $80 for a digital title and up to $90 for the standard edition of a physical title.
Yeah.
That's probably where I think you'll see pushback more than the price of the console itself.
Right. That's actually where I think it's wild. But then also, too, from what I understand, if you want to play old titles on the 2, they'll convert it, but it's going to cost you $30. For some reason, you're going to have to buy a $30 add-on for each game.
There's so many people that rant and rave about backwards compatibility though when they buy a system. I don't think there'll be a lot of people, as long as it's like a $30 one-time fee and not like a subscription thing. Like there's $30 and then $10 every month or something like that.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought it was going to be. It was per game, not just.
If it's per game, that might be a problem. But
yeah, and I mean I get it, but at that point, why would you? I'm just saying, from a family household, there's no reason for us to buy this. There's none, absolutely none.
Yeah.
And we're gonna buy a second, but then again, too, the OLED screen, there's no reason for us to buy that too. As I was talking to another family today, the kids mainly play it on a 58-inch screen TV any damn way. And do you really need an OLED screen to mine stuff? What's up, Zach? Yeah, it is nuts, dude.
Yeah, and now the battery life on this will actually be worse, supposedly, than when the Switch first launched.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I didn't even think about the battery life.
Yeah, you're looking at a 2 to a 4 hour battery life, I think, on the Switch 2 now.
What's the battery life on a Zach? What's the battery life on the just a regular Switch? And what's the battery life on a LIT or the light?
On a light. I think on a light it's a little bit more, but like on like the OLED, one selling point of the OLED was that it had increased battery life because the screen took less energy.
Shit, I might have to buy one of those then.
So
we got a 13-hour trip.
The OLED selling point was that it had like an hour or two more of battery life than the original Switch version. So
can you charge these on a like without the dock?
Oh yeah, you just plug directly into USB.
So it's a USB drop in. Yeah. So I mean they'll have. I mean in the pods they have that in the plane. So I'm really thinking 2 hours. Shit, 3 to 4 hours. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like half to like three or half to like a third or something.
Oh, but like 3 or 4 hours in a plane. Kids that a 30 we're flying direct from Detroit to Tokyo. So that's 13 hours straight.
Yeah. Well, also keep in mind too that that's an estimate. It varies based on like the requirements of the game you play and other stuff. So it could actually be less than 2 hours in theory.
We got enough problems because my son can't shut up when he's playing video games. So like every time he falls in my car, he's like, ah! And every time he's like playing Super Smash Bros., he's like, yeah. Like he's screaming.
You gotta give him headphones so he talks even louder. Be like, no, this is really fun.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to get him prepared. And just be like, yo, dude, my man, I love your enthusiasm, but you cannot be like screaming. So he'll just come up and like, so I've moved him from like the main level of the house to the in-law quarters, and you can shut the in-law quarters off. It's got its own separate doors. So I'm like, hey, my man, like, we got to go to Japan and you're going to be on plane. And if you want to take it, you got to kind of work on not like screaming, that hurt and stuff like that. And he's like, okay. And then you just hear him. And then you hear the two like French doors go,
wait for it,
click, click, and he's still yelling. I'm like, no, bro, like you actually have to work on like not screaming in video games. Yeah. He's like, well, I'm not getting hurt. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Oh my god! And he wants to play this arms game. I'm like, you cannot bring that on the plane because all he does is go, yeah. And I think it's like these things where they punch or whatever. And it's like, bro, it's going to be wild. I mean, the whole thing. The nervousness of just traveling with the children is going to be wild.
I will say this much, at least like from the perspective of them putting like Outlaws and like the Switch was a bit lacking in like action games like this.
Sure.
So if the Switch 2 is enough of an hardware upgrade that it gets them more games like this, I'll be happy. Because I'd love to play like Jedi Survivor or something like on a Switch 2. Like,
Yeah. I think I guess that's what my point was. Like with the Switch, like I'm not gonna say it's a niche market, but the market is like you're not going to be. I mean, and I'm not saying I know Zaggy's in his 20s or 30s and he plays on it, but he's the exception. Like most of those people are just going to go out and buy an Xbox. Oh, you too, yeah. But I mean, they'll go out and buy an Xbox. It's really a family-friendly console.
Being the kind of the first to market of a new generation, quote unquote, of consoles, even though it's technically lower power than like a PS5 is.
Yeah.
Nintendo kind of has a stranglehold now on handhelds, right? There's no.
It's over. It's over. They got it. Yeah.
There's no more Sony handheld. There's no Microsoft handheld at all. You got things like Steam Deck, but those are actually more expensive.
Yeah.
So really, Nintendo's kind of cornered that market on.
But also, too, I'll be honest with you, Nintendo is easier to run for family-orientated stuff. Like we don't hook the Switch up to the internet at all. Yeah, I mean, it's like, they can. There's a lot of like offline based games. That's where I was saying I think they're missing the mark too, is because when they're talking, like a lot of their stuff is going to be, you have to be online to get some of the stuff. And right now, like, my kids bitch and moan about, well, my friends wanna, and it's like, well, you got two choices. You can either play offline or you can play not at all. Where like eventually they're going to, be online or something to that effect. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was kind of cool what they're doing about what Nintendo's doing about who can buy them though. The first time.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear about that? Yeah. You have to have an account over a year and you have to have over 50 hours on that account and you'd be able to buy one. So so people don't buy them and try to resell them. I think that's pretty interesting.
I mean, it does.
Pre-order they might not be able to buy any, but yeah.
I mean, I hear that, but it also, once again, that kind of does push the people out because this is one of the things. Like, if you check our account, it's going to say 0 hours on it because we don't play on
good or a bad thing. I mean, as a person who meets those requirements, I like it. But at the same time, when I think about it a second time, there's a lot of people who, like, let's say a year or two ago, wanted a Switch. There's been rumors of a Switch 2 now for a long time.
For a long time.
Some of those people put that decision off and say, I'll pick up the Switch 2 maybe in a year. So I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Did you hear about the whole GameCube thing?
No, what about it?
They're making a on the Switch 2. They're making a backwards GameCube part of it where you can buy in all these other GameCube games, and they're actually going to make a controller, the old school GameCube.
They did that for the
Nintendo
controller. 64 for this Switch. So I like that though. I like when they do that. Gives you options.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That seems like an expensive option, though. That seems like it's gonna get expensive.
Well, it's all expensive options. It's how they make their money.
Yeah, yeah.
To be able to pay
fair. I mean, that's fair. That's a fair comment. Like,
yeah.
All right, cool.
But this one's for Marco. We got a couple celebration tidbits. So, Marco, when you go and you go to the food bar there at the at Celebration, you can get
sushi.
You can get Admiral Akbar's octopus balls for only 1,000 yen. Okay,
that's cheap. I'll eat that. You guys, if you want me to, yeah, you know what? I can. This is it.
Oh my god!
I'll eat. Let me see. I don't know if I want to try pasta.
Forbidden love.
What is the Wookiee? It's just pasta spaghetti sauce.
There's a full menu out there with like 14 items on it. I couldn't put the whole thing up on here.
Oh, maybe we'll do it. We might pull that out because I think it's fun. So, like, already the stuff on the left, like we are used to eating. So Ugan, like all of those, like Ugari and all that. We're used to eating that type of stuff. So we'll definitely be pounding a couple of those.
Yakisoba was only like 1,000 yen. Not too bad.
Oh, so that's yakisoba is really good. That's what the chubak is. Yeah, for those people that don't know, it's just like a noodle that like they
it's Japanese spaghetti.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's not like tomato sauce.
It's not tomato sauce. I'm just saying.
It's not tomato sauce. Yeah. No, we actually make that all the time. There's a very good version of fresh version that they import. We have a Japanese importer down here, so there's a fresh version you can do, and you can drop the sauce in there and everything. That's really good. The one that I worry about is the jar mean.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
What kind of?
They're all on. There was about.
Well, that does say canned tomatoes. Like I'm just not trying to eat Italian.
Well, this stuff is gonna be like mass produced too, so it's probably gonna be awful.
Well, maybe,
kind of tomato sauce,
maybe. Hold on, though, maybe, but like everything they do over there, they take pride in, right? So it's gonna be.
Right.
It's not like when we think about it over here, we think about.
Well, I'm talking like specifically the tomato sauce part of that. If that's tomato sauce or whatever.
I don't know the tomato sauce. Where'd you see
the food menu? You can probably just Google Star Wars Celebration 2025 food menu or something and pull it up. I can't remember exactly where I pulled the article from. I think it was the Gizmondo article I pulled it from.
Yeah. You know, I just looked up 1,000 yen and it's not even $7.
No, it's cheap. That's really cheap.
What?
Yeah. You know, I'll say I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, and they're like, because I think we just booked Universal too and other stuff, and they're like, it's a lot. I'll tell you roughly the trip is costing us like we're up to 25,000 already. But the good part is we started booking it like a year ago, so most of that 20,000 we paid for it so long ago. Like it's not. So we're like, oh well, we want to go. Yeah. So I mean, we could have done it where we put all 20 up at once, I guess. But like, it was nice. Like, okay, well, the tickets and everything, that's going to be $8,000 to $10,000 or whatever it was. So paid that off, and then because you can't book early for their hotels, you can't book till like 3 months out or 6 months out or whatever.
How much of that? I'm curious though. Like, you can just ballpark. You don't have to sit there and add up the figures. But how much of that do you think is just the flight and the tickets to the con?
Oh, I actually didn't even figure in the tickets to the con, to be honest with you, because that was even like before that. So like the flight, like I said, the flight is going to. I think it's out the door after everything. The flight is like $85,000 to $9,000. But we're also taking pods. Like you could do it for the four of us. You could do it. You could sit in a chair, I guess, for 13 hours or whatever the other option. You could fly regular class, I would assume. And I don't know. I'm sorry. See, these guys got me messed up because I'm trying to say stuff. And
you don't have to give me the details.
Yeah. So for the pods, and we're not first class pods, right? The kids don't need that. We're doing the whatever the pod is like. I think they call it business. They don't call it business class. It's
I think
not.
I think technically on an international flight, it's like international class. Or
it's
a specific name for international flights. I forget what it is. But.
Yeah, it's oh man, I had it on the tip of my tongue, but it's not. It's Comfort Excel or something. Whatever it is. So we're in that, and like, so I mean, we could have spent. We were thinking about it. It was going to cost us like another $8. It was going to cost us another $8 to get into first class, roughly, or 6 to 8. And we were thinking about it, but then we're just like, our fucking kids are spoiled anyways, and they're not going to sleep. So why would we get first class like full domes? Like that's not like you can get the pods, and in the next class down, we'll do that. So we did that. Then like
sit and relax for those, which you won't be able to because you have kids with you. For those 13 hours, it's pointless to do that.
Yeah. Then the other part of it is like some of the hotels that we're going to stay in some novelty hotels.
Mm-hmm.
So like novelty hotels, the price.
You didn't book the Love Hotel by accident, did you?
Oh shit, no. Did I tell you that I almost booked the Love Hotel?
You said something about
I had no clue what it was. I was like, it's cool. It's like 80s theme or whatever.
Look at all
it's
the
like
themes.
it's neon, it's 80 theme. This would be so cool. And then it's like no kids allowed, lovey girl or whatever. So like no. So then like
Nope.
So we're gonna do Pokemon like theme ones.
Oh, look, it's like a moon. The kids can bounce on the bed, and
the only thing that's gonna be expensive, I think, is like after that, the add-on expense. We're probably gonna spend another couple thousand on it. Is like transportation. It's not cheap.
I thought say, yeah. Do you have to book that ahead? Like if you take a train to like Kyoto or something, are you
so kind of some people say you do and some say you don't. I don't know. We're gonna just roll with what we have.
Wing it however best you can.
Yeah. Why? See, this is what I'm talking about. I can't say anything nice about anything. Okay. All right. Anyways, my point being, so yeah, I mean, I would say probably about 50% of it's going to be spent on hotel and travel, and the rest of the stuff, like the actual everyday stuff, is not expensive. Like the food, not expensive. The like most of the entertainment stuff's not expensive. Even when we were doing like. We're going to Universal and we're going to do the Mario Park thing.
You can pull up the full. I was about to say on the menu like this. You can pull up the full thing on the Star Wars Celebration website.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, let's do that here. We'll share the screen real quickly. Hold on, I'll do it. That's kind of cool. They get some cool stuff there. But yeah, I mean that's. Did I add it? Oh, we gotta take your news down for a second.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Let me add this real quickly. Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean it's like. It's pricey, but yeah, the food and all the other stuff is pretty much similar to this. And like, honestly, it's cheaper to go to their Universal than it is to ours. Like everything seems a little bit cheaper. All right. So what do we got here? Can we get this in bigger?
Some of it's in Japanese, so I don't know.
I know a little bit, but I was trying to get it so it's bigger. Yeah. I can't see what those noodles are. Oh my gosh. Look at this crab. Dude, that Grogu thing looks awesome, bro. Oh, and then that Wagyu.
So you got Moki. You got Warabi Moki, which is Tatooine-inspired Robbie Moki with the binary sunset picks.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
So it's basically a Moki with soybean sugar, brown sugar syrup.
That's kind of cool. The picks are kind of cool, too. I'm going to eat that. Is that soft crab that they have?
Which one?
Oh, it's fried chicken? That's chicken?
Yeah. Chicken wings. It's two chicken wings made to shape like a frog.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Do you see that they put Tabasco on It's a Trap? I don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's spicy. Why it's a trap. That's the octopus balls, by the way.
Iced coffee. Oh, the kids are going to love these straws. Sesame shake. No. Iced milk. Okay.
So the Jar Jar Min is basically spaghetti. It's noodles, yamen noodle sauce, canned tomatoes, ground pork, sesame oil, and red pepper flakes. So
yeah, fair.
Japanese spaghetti.
Yeah, I mean this actually looks good. Like my kids will eat all that stuff. Let's see what the people down here say. Okay.
The drinks are all, by the way, aren't alcoholic. They're all like sodas and other stuff. So
who's the guy that just puts it's the second time Celebration has been in Japan. First was 2008. Like, okay, thank you for your input.
I'll probably tell you something to do the article or
okay, well. All right, well that's cool. I mean, that's not a ton of stuff, but that's pretty cool, man. I'm down with all that. At least I don't typically eat at cons, but at least that looks like something that I'm 100% interested. Guess what, guys? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try it.
Hey, win in Rome, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it all. They have the beef on the stick, so like, well, I'll give it a little test. I'll do some stuff. Shout out BK. He asked me if we're gonna have internet over there. We are.
Boogie just wants to know where the burgers are.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Internationally cultured like that.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some stuff. Maybe I'll try to send some back. We'll see. But I'll definitely have them record me tasting some of this stuff or stuff like that, so we can go back or at least take the pictures.
I want a quick little video of you eating the octopus balls.
Yeah.
That's all I really want.
So I'll be honest with you. Like I enjoy octopus. I'm not gonna say what you want me to say. Pause. So we're not gonna do that. But I enjoy. I almost said the text. Okay.
Dang, I was gonna clip it so much.
Yeah, I know you guys are trying to set me up here. I actually enjoy. That's one of the things typically whenever I get like bento or actually I buy it and slice it myself. But yeah, so I have no problem with that. I don't know if I like the Tabasco on it. That's going to be interesting, but okay, cool.
A little bit different.
But why would they use like sriracha or
I think it's more like probably like Japanese fusion, like Western and Japanese kind of mixed together than it is authentic Japanese.
I don't know though. I'm happy with these prices though. I'm cheap, so I love to see like quality stuff for cheap. I just hope it comes out looking like the way it will, and I think it will.
Better than going to a con here where it's like, yeah, here's a hot dog for like $8.
Yeah.
For your hot dog, your slice of pizza is like $11.
Because nothing over here. Like the jar pasta is probably the most expensive thing, and that's $8. And that's probably the thing that I do not want to eat at all is the jar pasta. Do we see what the ugani? Do we see what the two first things have in them? Is the first one just a seaweed wrapped rice ball, and then it's probably the fried tofu rice ball? Is that what we got in the light and dark?
The first one is actually there's two versions. So there's light and dark. The first one is Luke, so that's the light side, which is red vinegar rice and seasoned fried bean curd.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's sweet. I love that. So and
the other one is basically the same thing. It's I think it's called sukadani, which is like seaweed wrap.
It's a seaweed version.
It's a bamboo charcoal rice, which is black rice.
Black rice, yeah. Okay, cool. I would have liked the salmon or fish rice inside, but
is it 900? You get both?
Yeah.
Yes, it's set. So it's a rice ball set. So
yeah, because it's just rice. Like rice balls aren't that expensive. Like rice balls.
I think you basically get one of each, probably.
Dude, I'll tell you this, man. Those two, it's gonna be tough eating all this. I'm gonna have to do it on different days because, like, I'm gonna try to get as much done the first day because it might sell out. But like, rice balls, 2 rice balls is a lot. It's a lot to eat.
You always get some for the family and maybe split it or something.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't like eat all 20 dishes yourself.
Yeah. I've eaten with you before.
All of it.
Yeah. All right, what's next? That's enough of food.
More celebration news. You don't get to see Poe. Oh. Sorry, Marco. No Poe for you. Mm-hmm. I know you're devastated. You really want to see Poe.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be there.
Cancel my trip. I'm not going.
Yeah. He heard you were coming, and he's like, no.
I want refunds on everything now. No, I mean, that's okay. Yeah. I mean, some people not going out. Like I said, I mean, the whole panel situation's a mess anyways. So, like, I don't.
I would be shocked if we get other cancellation.
But
I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, I don't know that many people were like worried about this. Like you said, how many people are like canceling their tickets or trying to get refunds? Oscar Isaac's not going to be there.
Yeah,
I'm out.
So. Yeah, I mean, not that big of a deal.
Yeah, okay. No.
I wonder if he didn't have enough. I wonder if they didn't have enough sold the stuff.
You know what? He saw the prices on that food menu, and he was like, "No way."
No, well, I'm wondering. Like, because like a lot of the stuff you have to have pre-sale for like his. I wonder if the number wasn't
his VIP enough. Stuff and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, for his pre-sales, because like sometimes like that's a legitimate thing. Like these guys, that's a lot of times where people cancel like their pre-sales.
I mean, they're all working actors and stuff. They have schedule conflicts and other stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know the official reason for the dropout, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the 800th time. I mean, he was at everything for 20 years. I'd rather have Ford show up or. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, cool.
That's it. That was my weekend Star Wars.
All right. Well, let me get back into it. We'll go back because I have it pulled up. I have the part pulled up where. All right, I'm going full screen. Jay, could you share it, JJ? Can you see it?
Hang on, I gotta take this off first, right?
Yeah.
I gotta put that on.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get this in better clarity.
Yeah.
So this is what we're looking
It'd be
at.
hard to brighten up.
Yeah, I mean he brightened it up, but this is kind of hard to look. Yeah, I don't. It looks pruned up. The thing that got me on this is I looked at it again on the poster. There's something about that helmet. Doesn't that helmet look a lot like Darth Bane's helmet when he did Samurai Darth Bane?
A little bit. Yeah, I say so. Yeah, but the maybe Inquisitor guy.
What species would that be?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's definitely her old lightsaber handle, though. That is not what that's supposed to be.
Yeah, I know.
He's already he's already changing shit.
I without a doubt positive people change stuff.
100%.
I have zero
Yeah.
Zero expectations that he will not.
They literally, like, her description of what her lightsaber is when it's a yellow hilt is just a plain. I was gonna say a rectangle.
It was ex-Jedi's lightsaber, but it was.
But just straight. They describe it as a straight, flaccid lightsaber. So he's already changed that.
I can't remember the Jedi's name, but it was some Jedi's lightsaber that she came across.
I don't know though. I kind of like that they're doing the CAD thing. I hope they don't get into the Boba thing. I just.
And JJ, I just sent it to you. I want your opinion.
This is where. Whoa, that's what I want to do right there. Okay, we got this. You're shooting. We're shooting. Everybody's shooting. Huh.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
I just don't understand why she'd be fighting an Inquisitor.
Looks like Dirge.
It does not look like Dirge.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Let's put some CCs on this and see what we got here. Music, yeah, cool.
Good one.
See, so she has to have some connection to the Empire because you guys there?
I almost wonder if that's not his complete helmet too. Like maybe there's a.
No, I sent her the picture of the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Did I freeze out?
I'm just.
No, you're fine.
Can you guys hear me or no?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull this down. See what happened. All right. Oh, it shot off all my volume. Okay.
Oh, you muted everything.
There we go. Yeah, I muted everything. All right, I'm gonna go back in. But yeah, I mean I'm going back in. It looks like she's got some type of connection to the Empire. That's weird. Because like we keep seeing the kid, and we think that the assumption that's with the jet, like that has something to do with it. But I don't know if it does.
Do you think they pit them against each other?
I'm thinking they might. That's what I'm thinking is that kid's the bounty.
And Bane eventually, like it's Bane's origin story, and then it catches up to Bane to the part where he's looking for this kid, and then the last 3 episodes or whatever is us protecting him from Bane and the Empire.
Yeah, that's that last scene that we just saw there. Maybe
that makes sense because you got an Inquisitor in there. That's clearly Inquisitors pursue Force users, and also, but we don't necessarily know that the kid's Force user, right? You could just be a kid.
No, he just has a lightsaber.
You just could be a kid with a lightsaber. So.
Hold on, what ship was that?
But I think it's a TIE fighter. She's running from it. It looks like.
No, it's not. Look.
No, he's talking about the one right there.
It's right there.
Oh, that one.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe it's like maybe it's like a Republic remnant planet or something.
Yeah, because when you see this, the same character in the background was on the CAD thing, and this was the blow up, but you obviously see her, right? Hold on.
That's a good picture of it.
Right there.
Yeah, that's her.
Right?
Well, it looks like her. Yeah, I would assume.
Let's do it again. So they're blowing it up.
Almost looks like the. Almost looks like the. Well, they're a little more round. Almost looks like storage tanks that they blew up in Rebels.
Rebels, yeah.
Oh.
And this definitely has the robots and everything else there. She's out in the desert.
Who is this kid?
That's why I think for her story.
So there was. So here's the thing.
Oh, look, Zeb got shot. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So there is a there. Okay, so in the storyline, she is a bounty hunter, and she's supposed to go save 2 kids. I think he could easily reduce that to just 1 kid.
Or a kid and his mother.
Yeah, and a kid and his mother. Well, the mother dies. Like in the actual story in the book, when Ventress gets to the kid, the 2 kids, the boy and the girl. The girl, I think, is like, yeah, my mom's dead. So.
Yeah. She also fought. I mean, she fought.
What is it? Oh, hold on.
Like I said, there was a storyline where she fought Hondo's group and she fought another group of pirates too. Like, so those ships could be pirates and stuff too, or mercenaries.
Is that the kid back there? Is that the kid back there? I don't know.
On the right,
that
on
robot's
the left?
guard or something? Yeah.
I don't think so. See, I think that's supposed to be like him when he first becomes Bane because he puts the hat on and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't know, man. I love watching stuff in slow-mo, though. Breaking it down. This is obviously where they're training. I don't know why it's Stonehenge.
Well, I mean, well, that looked like to me like they're just like statues and put up because the bird's sitting on it. They're not.
Almost reminds me of when you see like the stormtroopers' helmets on the pikes kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you see you see her. You see the kid with the lightsaber and her training in that actual area later. Like you see them training there, so it could be.
It looks like an industrial planet.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Which that might be it. That might be. I mean, a lot of that stuff, like that group chasing her and everything, does kind of play out to that storyline where she's supposed to save those 2 kids, which is one of her bounties. God, they did such a good job with this. Dave does such a good. If he just wouldn't crap on people's stuff, he does such a good job.
Stick to animation.
Yeah. Yeah, Stranger Lady. That was so cool. That just was cool, dude. Do you think they're gonna give us her girlfriend? Do you think he's gonna go that route instead of doing the Voss route?
Well, I'm hoping it takes place after the whole Voss thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'd be absolutely fine if we don't see Quinlan Voss at all in this thing, to be quite honest with you, because that would mean that everything's said afterwards, and maybe we get like a Quinlan Voss mention or something. I'd be all right with that, but like, I'd be perfectly fine if we don't see Quinlan Voss, because if I see Quinlan Voss, that probably means he's changing a bunch of shit from the story that I don't want to change.
Fair. Did you guys also find it interesting that you expected Cad Bane to show up to the desert planet and he showed up to the industrial planet, and she's supposed to show up to the. You'd figure she'd be like
on the desert planet.
Yeah, because of her under. Yeah.
I think this is. I assume because all the other Duros or whatever, this is supposed to be his homeworld or something.
Yeah, but it's also weird that he gets the head. Look to see if you see the dent. Well, we wouldn't be able to see it, right?
Right. I think this is before that. I think this is a prequel kind of Cad Bane.
You do,
even though
he's got the.
He doesn't have the tube. Well, he doesn't have the tubes and all that either. Yeah, he doesn't have the cuts and.
Yeah.
See, there's no tube system, so he hasn't been hunting Jedi or anything at this point, at least.
Yeah, you're right.
He may be a bounty hunter though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, he's about like that's his life as a bounty hunter, I guess.
Yeah.
Dang, they did a good job with this one. This one's a good one. I just wonder. Does that part right there has got like? Remember, was it Final Fantasy V, which was the one that they didn't do in the US and they came out later? It just has a type of.
It's actually 2. I think it was 4 and 5, but yeah.
Was it 4 or 5? The one there they did in the Japanese city. Hey, guns. Oh, little caddy. Oh, see, there's that guy. There's the guy we see later on, or at least a species. Right? Hold on. Look over Cad Bane's right shoulder, little baby Cad Bane. It's your best friend. Things have changed. Yeah. You took everything. Oh, maybe that's not Cat. Yeah, maybe it's. Yeah, the guy over on the right. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever's holding him back there looking like a droid too. Right there.
Where?
Right. Go back just a hair.
Just a hair.
Where it's like him running or whatever.
Ah, dang it! Right there. Oh, you're right.
I think that's a droid. I think
it
looks like a droid.
Was that him or is that the other guy's kid? Though you never know at this point.
That I don't know.
That could be good. I mean, it could be really good with what they could do with him because you can make him bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think this is all canned right here. I mean, they kind of allude that it might be. What are those? Are those Republic medals? They are, right?
Oh, there's no. Yeah, looks like it.
Probably, yeah. Looks that way.
So that must mean this guy's probably a kid to one of the. I wonder if it's Yurin's kid, right? Yularen's kid.
Possible.
Well, that's him in the door. Yeah. So that could be the. So that's exactly. Oh my God! So that's what he's gonna do. Okay, so like back in the. Oh man! So back in the story when you're going through Dark Disciples, if I recall correctly. Now it's been, when did Dark Disciples come out? Like 8 years ago. There was a guy who was from the Republic who was like a merchant, and he sent Ventress to go get his wife and kids that were caught by Bob. I assume he's going to just screw that story up and make it. He's just going to take that format and just go like, oh, now it's.
That wouldn't shock me.
Huh?
That wouldn't shock me.
No. So instead of doing that, instead of going for that guy and his 2 kids, it's now going to be you going for Urano's son, and it's the same story. And that's where we're going to get the bounty. If that happens, like there's a high probability we're going to see the Ahsoka or the, what's his name, gang?
Voss.
Yeah. No, not Voss. No. The pirate guy.
Oh, Hondo.
Yeah, Hondo.
Yeah.
Huh. What was in the background there? Hold on. Right as she turns, right? So we hear that. Oh, they use the grayscaling. Oh, that looked like.
I think it's just a kid.
I think there's bounty hunters right there. See if you can catch it on the back. It looked like it was IG 88. The last image you'll see on the way left. Right there. Yeah, right there. It was. Holy crap. You guys see that? Well, I'll try to pause it.
Okay, Dom.
No, right there underneath. No. Right there underneath, across from his shoulder. I know. Yeah. Holy crap. It's an IG unit that's wearing a scarf, like a Tomo.
Bandolier. Yeah.
Yeah. No, like poncho.
Oh.
Huh. I'll be damned. All right. Well, there you go. I mean, I'm not saying it's IG-88. There's just an IG unit back there.
How many Western tropes do you think he'll fit in?
Just there alone, there's like 15.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, being a cat, being serious.
Hold on.
I'm assuming there's at least going to be like 24 Western tropes in this thing. Hold on.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I don't think that's not the Inquisitors. That's women's shoes with a cape. Isn't? Don't you think?
I don't know.
Let's look at it again. I know, dude. We're doing this. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way that's the. Because that's different. Maybe, I don't know.
No, that's the Inquisitor.
No, that is. You're right. That's an Inquisitor. They just gave him girly feet. That's all right. Oh man,
there's the Western trope. Woohoo.
And there's the kid that we thought was Little Cad Bane. That's not obviously Little Cad Bane because he's sitting.
I think that from the dialogue they use, it almost sounds like that might be like his friend, whatever relationship he has with this one guy in the beginning of the trailer.
Yeah,
the Green Burros guy. I'm thinking that's his kid or something.
Yeah,
because he mentioned something about like Bane ruined his life or something like that.
Hey, I don't know if you guys want to know this, but I went to the Star Wars website to read about this article. I mean, read about the trailer.
Yeah.
And they gave a list of voice actors. And I'm sitting there going, man, these sound familiar. And one of the guys, if you don't want to spoil, just turn me off for 5 seconds.
No.
One of the voice actors has done the voice acting for a young Han Solo.
Huh.
So I
We
don't
might
know.
get a young Han Solo in here.
We might get a young Han Solo, and then there's another guy.
I don't remember a young.
If you remember from,
All right.
hang on. No, it showed me when it came out. When he came out. One sec. Don't keep talking.
Keep talking. No, you're good. Yeah, that guy doesn't have any like. That's not a move the Jedi taught you when you're sweeping the lightsaber on the ground there.
Well, I didn't mean Jedi. I mean like Force user. But yeah, he's clearly untrained.
He was in Star Wars Forces of Destiny as a young Han Solo, and as a young Han Solo. Yeah. So we might get a young Han Solo. That's
interesting.
If that's a spoiler,
maybe.
I don't know if that would be
a
spoiler. But everybody else seemed kind of
another Western trope.
There was Saw, yeah.
Shoot out the
like there was Saw Gerrera's sister, I think, was in it, and
oh, nice.
That one kid from Rebels who was in the Death Star with Ezra. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Who wore the helmet when they were fighting. He's the voice actor is also coming back for this. So.
Well, yeah, but sometimes voice actors do multiple.
You know, one thing I just realized. If that's supposed to be like her old lightsaber hilt, and let's say she replaced the crystal or something.
Yeah.
Like, where on earth is the other one?
Yeah, where's the second one? Well, you'll see it later then, I guess.
I'm thinking.
Oh my god. That looks good, man. That looks good. Yeah, this is the group right here. I'm trying to look at the fit. Oh, no. Hey, did you see that? Look at those two. Okay, watch on the left side of the land speeder. Okay, so you see all these guys coming down, whatever these wild guys are.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the left side of the land speeder. What are those? Tusken Raiders?
Nikto?
Yeah, I don't know what they are, but they're going the wrong way. They're trying to help defend, it looks like. Fend off.
I like how their speeder bikes apparently can't go over that small puddle of water.
Yeah, right.
They'll have to like divert around it. Even
like,
Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. Yeah, even he made it partway over that thing.
Your last speeders don't go on water.
I hope it was worth it. That's cool, man. Anyways, they did a great job. Sorry, if we're gonna go in for $1, we're in for a whatever.
Yeah,
I'm breaking down the whole thing. So, all right, enough of that. All right, guys, that was cool, man. Like I said, I really think. Why does everybody? I wonder why. There's two guys that aren't here trying to goat me into arguments over dumb things. Because you know what would have happened? I love Dom, but there's no way we could have. If this actually works, we might re-put that trailer out there for next week to see what happens. Because I guarantee you that there will be a bunch of nonsense going on there.
We'll be 2 hours dissecting a 2-minute trailer.
Dom just.
With Dom here, I mean.
Yeah. Durr just got it. There you go. Yeah. Oh my God, he would be doing it. Yeah, I mean that's going to be, Wayseeker antagonizing him to say stuff and then back and forth. I do want to get his input. I really am interested in what he thinks about it, but
me too.
I don't think it should be like much more than that's really super cool. I will tell you this about our friend Dom. You do not want to give him more time, because the more time you give him, the more wild the consumption he starts consuming is, and then it becomes this amalgamation of multiple just
snowball effect.
Yes.
Yeah. The more he cooks, the more his
the more it goes, the more it's just she will not be there. I hope she's not. If she is, you know what?
Poe. They needed a replacement. That's what she got.
Good for her to get a paycheck. I don't. Once again, I can separate the person from their works. So just because I'm not a fan of how she writes Star Wars, that doesn't. I used to have a guy, Chicken John is what we called him. Wayseeker thinks that's funny, but the Chicken Finger John, because all he'd eat is chicken fingers. He would go at cons and he would walk by. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a writer for Batgirl or something. He's a huge DC fan. and he did not, for some reason, he didn't like something that the artist had put on Twitter or Instagram. This is years ago. This is like, I'm talking a decade ago. So he's at a con, and all he kept doing was walking by her spot. He's like, I should say something to her about how she doesn't know how to write a female character. And I'm like,
no, you shouldn't.
First off, you shouldn't. Second off, yeah, she's got no clue what it's like to be a female. Wait, what? You're gonna tell her she doesn't know how to write Batgirl? Like
the guy named Chicken Finger John clearly has more of an idea what it's like to be female.
Yeah, so he just kept walking, and I thought that was like the wildest thing. But then, like as the years have progressed, like more and more people are like Chicken John. Like they literally, we've had this before too. Like just us when we're at cons, people saying stuff, and you're like, you understand. First off, it's a one-way window, right? Like I can't hear what you're saying to me at your house. But number two, and more importantly, like I think out of context, nothing gets taken. Now you can come say hi, we can get into conversation, but most people will start off a conversation that they've already had with you. And the same with these people. Like instead of saying like you don't know how to write a girl, or like with Ireland, if I end up in which is very likely because this happens all the time, you end up in like a smaller space with one of these people, you just don't say anything at all. Or if they ask, you say, I'm a big fan of Gray. I'm a big fan of Scott. I enjoyed X, Y, and Z. You just don't tell them about their shit. Cause like, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't. And for her, like, I really dislike her writing style. I dislike what she does. And I think it's terrible in Star Wars. And I'm glad it's leaving, but that's my opinion and I'm entitled to it. That doesn't mean I need to tell her what my opinion is, especially if it's unsolicited. Like if she then pauses and goes, hey, what do you think of my work? I'm gonna be like, I don't like it. And I will actually be more blunt about the specific points because I'm not going to just be raving about it. I'll be more specific.
Something.
I will be more specific. No, I won't say it's something. I will give her an honest, like, these are the issues that I have with how you write books. It's not the style I enjoy. I understand what you're doing. It seems like there's a lot of back patting. You're trying to pat your back saying I was the first person to do X, Y, and Z in Star Wars and are really out of touch with not just Star Wars fans in general, but I think people in general. Like, that's not how it works. So that's good though. Enjoy. So I mean that's the conversation. But yeah, I'm not doing the Chicken John thing. Like, oh, I should tell her. And by the way, he's like, yeah, look, she only had 2 people in her line this time. I'm like, bro, would you like to get a signature? Would you like me to? I would love to find out who that was. That he had so much like vitriol hate for.
Really, he read all their work, so
he actually. The one thing I'll give you is, yeah, he did. He actually had written everything.
That's the one thing like I don't get. Like when you dislike a property or an artist or a TV show, like okay, use a fair example. There was another. I look at these polls sometimes that they put on YouTube channel puts up about Star Wars, and there's literally the show they were asking which one was the better show, and I think it was actually a troll, but it was like Book of Boba Fett or Skeleton Crew. Okay. Book of Boba Fett won because everybody was trying to troll the fact, oh, Disney can't make Skeleton. I was like, Disney makes both freaking shows. Yeah. It was like one guy posted like, oh, Skeleton Crew was the worst thing I'd ever seen. You know, the kids made me gag, and you know, I couldn't stand it. It is a garbage of 10 episodes of television.
For what?
What's wrong with the statement of it was garbage 10 episodes of television about Skeleton Crew? It's only 8 episodes long. It's like you clearly watched the fucking thing. You're off by a whole 2 episodes. Like what the hell? Well,
yeah,
I don't get people who like claim to know about something and know it so well that they hated it so much. At the same time, have no idea how long it is or what it's about or anything else.
Well, here's the part with Chicken John. Now I remember what it was though. It wasn't even about her. Like I was like, well, what part of her book didn't you like? And she's like, he's like, it's not that. He's like, I know you're not on whatever the social media was at the time, but she said something. And I think what she meant was, and I'm like, dude, then don't follow him on. So like you do understand you don't have to follow people on social media. Like you can just say like, no, do not show me this content anymore. Yeah. Like, why would you read or watch? I mean, you guys know me. I don't get on, like I do this, but I don't get on social media a lot. Like I try to I've been told before that I need to get on Instagram, like some pictures. I still don't make comments. I try to do that, but like I don't got time for that, and I don't really care. I mean, I do like to see Wookiee Fanatics pictures because he throws some older books up and stuff like that every once in a while.
But you can kind of curate it to what you want to see and what you want to don't see. Like that's the whole point.
But that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be able to do that. So if you're seeing content, let's just be clear. If you're seeing content on your socials that you don't like,
that I hate,
that you don't like, guess what? You're doing social media wrong. Like it literally has an algorithm that's trying to feed you stuff you
want.
It's
not just. I hate to go back to the show example again, but it's not just social media. So Marco, let's say you sit down to watch House of Dragons, right?
Yeah,
you watch the first like 3 episodes and you decide you really hate this thing. You don't like it at all. Do you then watch the next 6 episodes?
No,
you usually stop watching because you don't like it.
Nah, not me. No, I'll be done. I'll be done. Hey, 6 is too many. I'm not even getting 6 in. It's got about 2 episodes. If I have to do it for a show, there's some things like I'll do for a show. Like
I watch things because we review it on here, but like as just a casual person, why would I put myself through 6 more hours of torture if I didn't like the first 3?
Yeah, I guess that's why or whatever. But that's why like we're Dom. We have conversations with him, and he's not here, so I don't want to shit on him. But he's like, yeah, this gets me riled up, and I hate seeing this and this and this. And I'm like, he's like, well, you know how it is. And I go, no, I don't. He's like, yeah, but you do because you. I was like, no, because I don't. Like if you come into if something comes into my feed, even for the 2 minutes I spend on it, and you guys and Sarah can attest this, and other people too. There'll be days because I know it tells you when you look at people's messages. There'll be like 3 days, and then all of a sudden you'll see me like watch all the reels and all the stuff that everybody sends to me. But like if you don't like it, I don't know. It's like there's a button on the side I think that says, "Do you want to see more?" No, I don't want to see more of this content. No, I don't like this. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear girls farting on your TV. Nope, done. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I like, dude, the boys. I'll be honest with you, watching the boys do Power Ranger stuff, and I'm not even Power Ranger, but like there's this whole thing where it's the boys, the grown-ups, they're really into Power Rangers, and they do like, Yellow Ranger, power up. Dude, I find that fascinating. I like just like how much these people like love that and they're like into it. So I watch that crap all the time, mainly on there. Or as Sarah will test, there's a lot of wrestling like parody stuff that I watch. It's just nonsense. And it can be enjoyable, but like for my buddy Chicken John to be like mad at somebody, and I'm like, first off, you're reading too much into whatever they put into like whatever. Or I don't even know if it was. Now that I'm thinking back, I don't even think she said anything. I think she retweeted a post or liked a post or something. That's what he was upset at. It was like, yo, dude. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, dude, you can't be wild like that. Like they could have. I've liked stuff on accident before. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what? I'm not paying attention to half the shit. So I don't know, man. Get your guys' socials right, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to. I think that would help out.
I block it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you have every right to block shit you don't like. Like, why would you consume shit you don't like? Like, hey,
exactly.
If somebody comes over, I'm not a huge Radish fan, right? They put somebody treated us after church to a nice later lunch, almost a dinner. They put radish on the salad. Guess what I do? I flick that shit in the garbage. I'm not eating that. I'm not eating radishes. No. I don't like them. Why the shit would I watch some shit on the internet that I don't like? You have every right to say, we ain't watching this shit. I don't. People are wild thinking they have to watch some shit. Like, you don't look at read it. So, all right. Anyways, hey, check out. Shoot, we didn't get back with them. We were supposedly, about a month ago, we booked somebody who's pretty, how do you say it? He has a pretty long career in comics. We're really not saying who it is, but you'll see Untacked this week. Please support us there on Untacked. Please come out and watch it. He's got a new book coming out at FOC next week, so we're gonna cover some stuff. And I'll be honest with you, with this one, it could go terribly wrong. So if you want to watch entertain go terribly wrong, we've been told that maybe that he had hired somebody. He gave somebody extremely famous their start in comics, and then we were told, I was like, oh, that's cool tidbit, and then shortly after was told, we think you better look it up, and this is from like somebody from the industry that said that. So we will absolutely not look it up, and we will be accusing this guy of hiring somebody who is just right now one of the hottest name and properties in comics for probably about 5 or 6 years. And we're going to see how that works. Yeah. And he very well may have not hired this guy at all. And he very well may have been hired, unfortunately, by this guy. So we're going to see how that works and try to embarrass ourselves. But we'll be doing that on TAC. So tune in for that. I think it's just going to be funner doing that. We've tried to have very low communications with this guy just so that we can play off that. So we'll see how it works. Maybe it'll work. Look, man, I'm not the best interviewer anyway. So like doing this type of stuff, I got to make it fun. But check that out. Next week, as I was saying, we don't know what I have a flight to take. And like, it's very interesting where the flight is. And I might not be here next week, but if not, the boys will take care of it. So they'll have it under. But it's like, there's a lot of stuff here now. For Japan, you have to fill out when you're coming and you have to do all this stuff. And like over the next bunch of days, we really have a lot of stuff on top of everything else we do to take care of. So if I'm not here, sorry, but enjoy the boys show. Make sure you give them a thumbs up and watch it.
And when Marco gets busted over there in Japan for something, we'll just say, well, we seem to have lost his extradition paperwork, and if he's not around for a month or two,
sure. Well, you never know. I mean, I'm at the point that like if we can get the kids good education over there, what's the point of coming back? I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, if I can fish over there, I can fish over here. You know what I mean? Like, I like everybody, but like everywhere I go, I don't have a problem meeting people. So
you can now smuggle goods over to us without 24% tax.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I can do that. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. We're only supposed to be over there for a couple weeks, but I might. You never know, dude. I don't know. The weather's been so shit, and my allergies been so bad here. Like, to be honest with you, this might be it. Might be next Tuesday, and then I don't have to do YouTubes anymore, so that should be fun. But yeah, so we got that going on. Thank you, Ruben, again. We appreciate it. Hopefully, some of the time while I'm gone, you'll be coming back. And whenever you can get on, you can get on. And then, maybe you guys just run the trailer back, depending on how bad this happened here, and have Dom and Waysinger yell at each other for an hour. That seems to cover.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's Dirge.
Dirge. Hey, guys. Hey, chat real quickly. If we can get him to somehow say it's Dirge, like that should be a drinking game. If it wasn't, if Monday wasn't the next day, if this was Saturday
graphic for it, it's Dirge.
Yeah, it's Dirge. Oh my god, we used to have when we were doing MCM, we used to have this list where we would make it was a drinking game, and it like to let you in on it, like it was a shared file. I would not a lot of times look at it, but like Kyle would do it where he put it up and you'd scan a code and like you could know the words if you're not, and like sometimes I would look at it just so that I could play it up to get people hammered and say the word. But we could do that with Dom. I mean, I don't know if people got to work on Monday. The only problem is it's a Monday, so it's going to be kind of tough to to see how many times we can have.
I would be responsible for like 4 people getting fired in the next day.
Yeah. Right. So, all right. Well, anyways, thank you once again, Ruben. We always appreciate having you on. We'll see you guys all later. Have a good one. Cover some more stuff next week. Stuff's doing good. Glad y'all stayed for what you stayed for. Hey, JJ, do you want Houston to win or do you want Florida to win?
I don't really care.
Yeah. All right.
Florida, I guess. There's IU Houston coach related drama back in the day.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Ruben? Anything? No, Texas. Houston, you're right out there, right?
I'm very south. I'm close to Mexico. Corpus.
Oh, shit. Oh, you're in Corpus Christi?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I got people out there. All right, man. Well, I'll talk to everybody later. Have a good one.